Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there.
Sure. Yeah.
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Welch's can't make everything make sense. Like why your mom still listens to the radio or what she meant when she sent that emoji. But a zero sugar drink that's still full of fruit flavor, we made that make sense. And strawberry, passion fruit, Concord grape, and more. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
This week, in Addy, Washington, the explanation for a bloody quadruple murder turns out to be more disturbing than the actual murder after police find bloody snow and bits of flesh all over a home. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wissman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us. Give yourself a little more enthusiasm. You're who? Who are you?
I'm Jimmy Wissman.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you,
That's
folks.
me.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. We have an insane... I don't even have to say it anymore. It's insane.
It happens every week, James.
If you've been listening, we get messages going, I don't understand it, but they get crazier every week for years, and they really do, and this week is no exception, so enjoy. Quickly, before we get to that, thanks for your reviews. They help a lot. 5 stars if you haven't done that. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com.
What's over there, James?
Oh, my goodness. First of all your merchandise, everything like that, everything from bath mats to skateboards, we got it. It's all there. Coffee cups, you name it, it's there. In addition to that, though, tickets to live shows. Oh, my goodness. Come out to a live show. First of all, let's sell out Milwaukee. We're at the Pabst Theater. It is September, was it 10th? We're there? 12th? 10th. 10th. It's the 10th. Either way, it's the only time we're there in September at the Pabst in Milwaukee. Go there, get your tickets there, make that our biggest show ever. beat Chicago, beat Minneapolis, do it up. When people
it's our only show that weekend. We don't have to go anywhere else. Let's just go and sell it out and rock it out.
Let's do it. Let's have a great time. Get there. Also, San Francisco in August. What is that? August the 12th and 13th is 12th and 13th, I believe. 13th is Sacramento. And then San Francisco. Tickets available for that. The Small Town Murder in Sacramento is sold out. So get your San Francisco tickets. Also, Florida, the clubs down there. Get your tickets. Orlando, Tampa. Get them down there. Let's do it. And let's sell these bad boys out.
Can't wait.
That said, Patreon is something you need to do, by the way. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all the great, amazing bonus stuff. This week is no exception. Every other week, you're going to get 2 new episodes. You're going to get crime and sports bonus. You're going to get small town murder bonus. You're going to get it all. And the whole back catalog, too. We get asked that a lot. This week, what we're going to talk about for crime and sports, we're going to talk about John Rocker, who is a baseball player who earned the hatred of pretty much everybody. Just a real asshole, and we're going to talk all about him. Not so much crime, but crazy, insane person. So, and family. We'll get into the whole deal. Then for small town murder, we're going to talk about a really wild murder. This has been talked about other places, but we'll do it differently, of course. But it's the most requested thing we've ever got as far as the case goes. Since the first week we've been doing this show, people have been sending us this case. It's been steady. It's in Skidmore, Missouri. And it's the case of a guy who is everyone hates him in the whole town. He's known as the town bully.
Just an asshole.
He's murdered before dozens of witnesses, and nobody will say a goddamn thing. It's like he got murdered at a Gambino family barbecue or something like that. It's that level, except it's just regular people in a small town. It's like Murder on the Orient Express Panhandle style. We're going to do it up. Let's do that. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And we will give you a shout out at the end of the show where Jimmy will try desperately to read your name and fail miserably, but he'll try, damn it. So do that. Also, you can donate on, what is it, PayPal there? It is, crimeandsports@gmail.com is the email address. And quickly, disclaimer, we're comedians. This is a comedy show, but the cases are real. That's the thing. We're going to make jokes about it, but that's all real stuff. We don't embellish anything to make it funny or any garbage like that. We don't have to. That's how crazy the cases are. The comedy is there because not around the murder, though.
No.
We go out of our way not to make fun of the victims or the victim's family, Jimmy, because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags. That's how that works. So if that sounds good to you, we are going to have a wild time. If you think true crime and comedy should never, ever, never go together, I don't know. You might not like the show, or you might like it, but either way,
who knows?
No bitching later. Just listen. All right, here we go. That said, I think it's time to sit back, Jimmy. Let's clear the lungs wherever you are, in your car, in your kitchen, so hopefully not in a too very public place. I'd like you to sit back and shout, Shut up! Give me murder. All right, let's do this.
Here we go.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
We're on a ride.
All right, we're going to the Northwest this week, way up there in the Northwest, to Addy, Washington. I almost said Wisconsin because we were talking about the Milwaukee show.
Addy, how do you spell that?
Addy. Addy, because it's like short for a lady's name. Like if your name was Adeline and you had a husband that called you Addy, and then he was the postmaster and named the town, that's what the town would be called. So there you go.
Or if it was your internet address.
Yeah, hit me up with your Addy, man.
Yeah,
it's some real 97 talk. That's some real 97 talk there, boy. That's
Addy is the same amount of syllables as address. So what the fuck are we doing?
And then you write down at earthlink.net afterwards because that's what someone's fucking at Hotmail because that's the same time.
.net.
Exactly. Also around here, we're going to talk about Colville. I think it's called Colville. I think it's Colville or Colville, but we'll say Colville because it sounds more coaly and dirty at that point.
Sounds more grimy.
It's right near here. This is really rural, this area. This whole area is really rural. There's a highway, I think it's 395 that runs down here. So that runs north and south, and it just kind of, there's like a few towns that dot it, and then it is just like nothing to the sides of it. There's forest land, and then it's pretty close to the Idaho border and the Canadian border. So it's the northeast corner of Washington up there. So this here is like militia country, is what you'd call it back in the day. Yeah. So this here, it's in northeastern Washington. Like I said, it's about an hour and 15 minutes to Spokane. That's the closest kind of big place. 6 hours and 10 minutes to Ska-mania, brother, which is our last Washington episode 246.
And ska and gore within months of each other.
That was amazing. Ska-mania, brother. There was a case, actually, that I almost picked for this week, but it was in Ska-mania County again. And I was like, we can't go back to Ska-mania, brother. We got to save it for another time. It's in Stevens County, area code 509. The history of this town, it was originally a Swiss dairy community.
Oh.
So I don't know how Swiss people ended up from Switzerland all the way to rural Washington to set up dairy communities. Seems like there'd be places to go between those two places where you could probably put a cow
the
and a
Swiss
stool.
make watches and chocolate, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you need milk for chocolate, don't you? Yeah, there you go.
You do.
So they could have set up a cow and a stool just about anywhere, I feel like, along the northern part of the country, but they decided to go there. Now, the 1890 was E.S. Dudry. He was a storekeeper and the town's first postmaster. And like I said, his wife's name was Adeline, nicknamed Addy, and that was the name of the town because, there was nobody there anyway. Who cares? Name it whatever the hell you want. It became basically a stop between Chewala and Colville. On the railroad. Chewala and Colville. These are two towns you've never heard of, correct?
Right. Three towns.
This is a stop between those two towns. Those are considered bigger places. Addy's just that's how small this place is here. In 1975, Alcoa, the company, built a magnesium smelter here.
Yeah, the wheel company.
There you go, which became the largest employer in the county.
Yeah.
Which is good. And then in 2001, they closed the plant.
And moved to Alaska.
And that was that. So then they weren't the largest employer anymore. And it's gotten a little, it's a little tough.
A little bleak since then?
Wait till you hear the stats. This is one where you're like, good God, really? There's nobody here. In 1967, the last school in Addy was closed. So
1967?
They haven't had a school in this town.
They haven't learned a goddamn thing in 50 years.
It's been 55 years since there's been a school in this town. Otherwise, they have to go to Colville, which is like up the fucking highway a bunch. So there's nothing here.
Fascinating.
They were bused to Chewala after that, which is another small town. Addy wasn't even tracked by the 2000 U.S. Census. They were like, I don't know. I'm not going all the way over there. There's nobody there.
They don't even have a book. Who gives a shit?
I'm just going to write down 3 hillbillies. Is that okay? I don't like 3 to 5 hillbillies. We'll call it 4. 4 hillbillies, and that's it, I say, right? There's nobody there.
Do we count them as people if they don't know shit?
That's a good question. In 2010, though, they were hit by the census, and the population then was 265.
265 people have never been to school a day in their lives.
No. Well, they've gone to other towns for school, so that's who they are. So if they stayed home, no school.
This is amazing.
It's wild. The town has 1 gas station and a coffee shop. There is 1 restaurant in town, and then there's a bunch of businesses that basically cater to the people that grow the agricultural shit. Like there's a lot of feed shops and 4-H type, I don't know, whatever the fuck goes on there.
We don't know how much this is. Pay what you want. We don't know how to count around here.
We got hay. There's hay. Now, with the school closed in 1967, I was only in the 4th grade, so anything beyond that's going to be out of my jurisdiction, understand? Simple.
How much is this biscuits and gravy? Pay what you want. I can't count change.
Luckily, my mama taught me to make biscuits and gravy when I was in 3rd grade before I got dropped out of school, because otherwise I ain't going to remember it.
That's all we make here is why it's called biscuits and gravy.
That's it. It's the name of the restaurant. The reviews of this town, here's 5 stars. It goes they run the gamut. This is amazing. These are for Colville, which they're similar. Okay. 5 stars. Colville is an extraordinary town to develop close relationships.
Oh.
Yeah.
If there's family.
Yeah. If there's few people there and they're all nosy, you're going to develop close relationships. Friendly occupants of the town support each other and often enjoy meals in each other's company. What?
Weird.
Super weird. Friends eat together. That's strange.
Sometimes we eat in front of each other.
That's strange. I'm going to have to next city we eat together in, Jimmy. New Orleans, I assume, or wherever it would be. Next thing is, Milwaukee or San Francisco. I'm going to write a review of that city about it. And I'm going to say, I ate with my friend here.
New Orleans is
Good
beautiful.
Town.
I ate and looked at a friend.
We ate. Well, a friend and I stared at each other. It was pretty good. We talked, as a matter of fact, too. We actually had words.
He put French fries in his mouth and moved his teeth up and down.
I ate 2 of his French fries. He had a bite of he had one of my ribs. It was fantastic. So, okay. The mountains boast safety from the strongest winds, from the winds cutting across there, and offer accessible and well-maintained trails for those who love to explore. A 10-minute drive from town leads to the nearby drive-in, outdoor movie theater, in parentheses, in case you don't know, a national treasure, they say. I don't know if they went and saw a national treasure there, or if they're calling that a national treasure. Yeah. They went and just saw a Nick Cage movie once, and they're like, it was amazing. we done went to the drive-in, and I saw that Nick Cage up on the screen, and I'll be goddamned if he don't have hair now. That's how Hollywood's a magical place, I tell you. A man who ain't had hair since 91 has hair now. It's wild.
I really hope that's what it is. They saw that.
That'd be amazing. To just said it. If possible, the town would be better off without the forest fires. Well, no shit.
What town wouldn't?
Where would not be better off without the forest fires? I'm sure.
Which town's review is very charming? At night, there's a nice glow ambiance.
Kids, let's keep the fingers crossed for a nice forest fire to light up the night tonight. I feel like smelling ash through the air.
No need for candlelight. We got forest light.
Oh, man. However, the firefighters are plentiful and devoted to protecting the town. When they say firefighters are plentiful, that to me sounds like they're like disposable. Like we keep shoveling them on there and it slows the fire down. It's the weirdest way to put that.
Throw bodies at it.
Yeah. However, it's important to know the town struggles with accepting the different ideas other than their own. The town that's not surprising. The town council overall is quite resolute in their decisions, whether good or bad. Yet Colville remains a beautiful small town with the residents treating everyone as close family. Yikes.
Yeah.
Here's
Colville, where we treat the forest fires like the beaches of Normandy.
Oh, it's just gorgeous now. We throw our people at them. We don't even give them hoses. They just run in unarmed and go on out, fire, go on out. And they burn on up and we send more in there.
Your body's 90% water. Just get in there and put it out.
We got scientists saying we're actually fueling it, but we don't listen to them. We just threw them in the fire also, and they don't know nothing. Now, here we go. All right, here we go. 4 stars. Colville provides the serenity of the Columbia River, the mountains, and the basics of Walmart and Safeway. So that's terrific. Yeah. In Colville, they made it sound like that was nature too. Like there's nature, there's a river, there's mountains, the Walmart, the Safeway, everything that nature has provided us. In Colville and just outside Colville, you can go hunting, fishing, hiking, or go for long scenic drives. In other words, there's nothing there. I'd like to see more children activities provided by our city council. I feel Colville could be an even greater city if the law enforcement could get a handle on the drugs. Okay. 3 stars. Next one. Not many druggies get caught, and when they do, they don't do much about it. Okay?
I mean, that's America.
What do you want? 2 stars. There's a lot of drug use in the area, and that contributes to things like thefts. There are a ton of property crimes. Well, we'll find out. Here's 1 star. They do not like this one at all. Shameless blight. That's the first line. Period.
The town is a blight, a shameless one.
And blight's all caps, by the way. Shameless blight. Traffic that makes my clean, manicured, and serenely quiet suburb outside of Denver look like paradise. Honestly, our family was shocked upon our return in 2020. Never-ending streams of junk cars, worker trucks, and hostile alcoholic trailer trash fill the streets by day. Wow. Depressing, dark, and ugly at night. You can't even enjoy the woods because they're filled with drunken and uptight milieu of ugly. Wow, this person. Milieu of ugly. Wow. This person left and went to school. Absolutely nothing for tweens, teens, or college age to do. Small wonder drugs are a major problem in Colville. Those that do have, ruthlessly keep it to themselves, and the poor have expanded into families living in windowless cars. A very ugly and smug place. Once the people have been replaced by better quality, there might be hope. Jesus Christ. Let's go now. Get on out of here. We got somebody better quality coming in. Let's go. Get your shit and leave.
This person's rooting for eugenics.
I was going to say, there was a big cheerleading the internments of the 1940s. We got better quality coming through here, Ching Chong. Move it along. That's what they were probably doing, though. That's his place. However, no amount of fishing or outdoor activities can make this dump livable when you have to drive through the blighted streets, he could have used another word, and deal with the low-intelligence population that currently resides there, both rich and poor.
Yeah.
They don't even know what milieu means. They burned out quick there. Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, they did.
They lost the plot
out at the end, but it was a solid run at things.
They were going, and then they
had
just
a roll. Yeah.
Next thing you know, blight again, and then it's low intelligence.
I realized they were out, and then one more sentence. That's all.
Out of gas. Yeah, no more arrows in the quiver. Here we go. Population right now: 102 people in Addy. So today, and it's, when we have 100 people, the stats are hilarious. So
they're so much fun.
It is 68.8% male.
Oh, that's heavy.
So, or female. I'm sorry, female. 31%. No, I'm sorry, 68.8% male, 31.3% female.
That's horrible.
There's a lot of loggers and shit here. Median age is about 45, which is older than normal, about 7 years older. The age groups are hilarious. There's 0% 0 to 4 years old, or 0 to 9 years old. There's nobody who's 0 to 9 in this town. No children. But 10 to 14, 26% of the population.
Wow.
So that's a lot. And then 35 to 44 is 31%, and 45 to 54 is 33%. So there's people who are 35 to 54, and they have children who are 10 to 14, and those are the only people who live here.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's it. No old people, nothing. Nothing. 61% married. There's nowhere to go get divorced. That's the problem. They don't know where a courthouse is.
If you get married, you better hang on to her because there's only 30% of them.
Yeah, there's not a lot of women here. What else do we have here? Yeah, that's married. 72% are married with children. 0.0 are single with children. So nothing there.
Single person here.
Nope. Race in this town: 25% white. 75% Native American. So that's it.
Is that right?
That's it. Only two. No, not a black guy, not a Mexican lady walking around, nothing. Nobody. Religion: 27% of the people here are religious, and it is spread out. The highest one is Mormon, actually, at 4.2%. So they're trying. They're trying to get in here. Yeah, there's also, as we'll talk about, Jehovah's Witnesses in the area as well. I don't know if they're still there, but they were 20 years ago. So the unemployment rate here is about 8%, which is a little higher than the national average. The median household income here, rest of the country, $54,000. Here, $15,764.
You might want to get a little high if that's all you've got. Jesus Christ.
Horrifying. The average income of an Addy resident, one single person, is $8,569 a year.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy shit. That's horrifying. The cost of living, 100 being regular average. Here it's 88, so it's not even cheap. The housing median home cost here, $289,700.
How do you do that on $600 a month?
You don't. You live in a windowless car, as people said up there. I think that's how it goes. So if we've convinced you, damn it, you need to be here. We have for you the Addy Washington Real Estate Report. The average two-bedroom rental here goes for $769. So that's
that's more than your income.
It's still a lot. Yeah, there's a two-bath. 1,440 square feet house here. This one's in Colville. It has not been touched since the 70s. Wood paneling, dark carpet, carpeting around a tub, Jimmy. There's carpeting around a tub. How gross is that?
I feel like that's going to come back.
Yeah, there's like a tarp with some insulation shit coming out of one of the ceilings. It's not great. It's not good. Yeah. $149,000 for that little gem. Little gem in the rough there. And then 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,800 square feet here. It's on 30 acres, so there's that. Okay. The house is nothing really that's that exciting. I don't know if this comes with it or not, but there is obviously not a professionally done, but a painting that appears to be Clint Eastwood in a Western. Maybe the good and bad and the ugly, maybe a fistful of dollars. It's not quite positive because the art isn't perfect, but $590,000 for that, though.
I feel like you can negotiate to get that painting.
Maybe you throw it in there. 30 acres. Then 4-bedroom, 1-bath, 2,000 square feet. House is outdated, looks like shit. The farm buildings have blood on the floors, shit like that. Everything looks dirty, but it's on 159 acres of
holy shit.
Apparently pretty prime farmland, and it's $1,450,000 here. So
it seems worth it with that kind of land.
Yeah, it's a little pricey, but things to do here. Here we go. Farm Jam Music and Camping Festival.
How dare they?
This is from the website. Quote, real farm. We operate a real farm. Okay, you said that twice. With the farm, that's 3 farms in 8 words. You've said farm 3 fucking times. We also provide real entertainment through our festival and corn maze.
Oh.
Well, then, look at that. Farm Jam vision is simple. We provide a highly visible and professional platform for quality original music and independent bands to be seen, heard, produced, promoted, and distributed for others to learn about new and emerging music and entertainment. Okay. Poof. And farm. This is performing in 2022, Jessie Lee, who's a blonde chick, Jeff Crosby.
Oh boy,
he looks like an Allman Brother from the 70s.
He might be. Crosby's still that Crosby's brother.
It might be. It would be grandson probably by now. He looks like a younger guy. Brewers Grade Band, which looks like a bunch of 50-year-old guys who decided that they're bored on the weekends. Devin Wade, just one guy. I don't know who he is. Joe Nichols, who looks like the singer from Creed in the 90s. That's what he looks.
Does he have dark hair?
Yes.
Yeah,
Joe
he's an
Nichols.
actual. Yeah, he's a douche country singer. He's awful, absolutely awful.
What about the Scooter Brown Band?
Never heard of him, but that sounds like a play on Scooter Braun, and I appreciate it.
Scooter Brown Band, baby. Yeah, again, this looks some older fellas there.
Yeah,
and the Fire Bottle Brothers, who also have a redheaded chick in it. So, and her
Fire Crotch Brothers,
Fire Bottle Brothers, and Fire Crotch Sister. Crime rate. Well, we're interested in this town. Right. Property crime. I wish we could spend more time on that festival. I wish we had the time because there's a lot to go into. We got to do another small town festival bonus because that was so much fun. That's one of the best. 150
people there, and you've got
102 people.
102 people, and you've got a festival with like a. That guy's, he's had top 10 country songs before. He's awful, but he's done it.
People crawl out of the farm woodwork up there.
Yeah.
Now, crime rate, we're interested in. Property crime is about 1/3 high, so about 1/3 higher than the national average. Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is about 25% low.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I guess they're not killing each other anyway. They're spread out. Whenever we find these towns, we'll find property crime if there's a lot of drugs or something, but they're spread out enough to where it's like, I'm not walking all the way over there to kill him. Jesus Christ. I don't know.
Distance.
Yeah, I'll just steal something close. That's easier.
I'm too drunk for that.
I'm too shit-faced for any of that garbage. So that said, let us talk about murder, shall we? Let's do it. Okay, let's go back to the year 2000. So not too far back. This is Earthlink times. This is hit me up with your Addy times is what this is. This is
download LimeWire and fuck this whole computer.
That's it. Oh, man. Oh, what about Kazaa? That'll be better. No, shit. That's still got, God damn it. None of the shit's working.
Why did we ever think that we knew something that hackers and people that wanted to send viruses didn't know?
Yeah, I actually had one that was a good one where they broke the file up into like 1 million pieces, so you couldn't do that to it.
What, do you got to put it together?
No, you would have a program that does it all on its own. Okay. It was a different way of torrent citing. It's all right. Once it became torrents rather than the actual direct download. That was crazy. Like, we have this big database, just download shit. Right. Oh, yeah, that won't be fucking, that won't be bad.
Don't make me download chunks of Metallica's Fuel. This is bullshit.
No, it all comes together and then you turn it into a file, but it can't be whatever. Never mind. So This is as we talked about it a few weeks ago, this is cell phones, but there's no cameras on them, basically. Yeah, this is
it's a different time.
You're not texting really yet. Yeah. This is more of a, phone. Cell phones are for emergencies because they're also expensive and you pay by the minutes.
So expensive.
You're using my minutes, man. This is for like 5 to 7 years, the entire probably world, but I'm just saying I know at least this entire country thought about nothing but minutes. It's all we thought about, because it was like, this 800 minutes for $28 a month, and then they're $46 a minute afterwards after that. So if you go over your bill, you'll never be able to be out of debt ever. So that was a nightmare. We were all just like, oh, God, my minute, anytime. Are you Verizon to Verizon? Can I call you and not be charged for it? What time is it? Is it 7 o'clock yet? Is it night? Is it weekend? Oh, fuck, I thought it was Sunday. It's actually Monday. Jesus Christ. Now I'm going to lose my house. Fuck. I can't pay my mortgage now. Jesus.
We've been hanging out more and more lately. I'm going to have to put you in my 5 faves so this is free.
Yeah, because I can't talk to you just willy-nilly. This is crazy. So let's talk about some people. Let's talk about a couple. In 2000, they've been married a long time. He's 49. She's 43 at this point. He is Robert H. Lembeck. I'm going to go with Lembeck. It's Lembcke.
Wow.
Really missing a vowel there in the end.
Well, I just misplaced one. It should be Lembeck.
Lembeck, without the E on the end, but it's not. This.
Yeah, the E should be, but it's misplaced. It should be after the B, not after the K.
I'm going with Lembeck is how I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
So it's Robert, and Diana is his wife. And Robert here, this guy, he's a rugged kind of cat. He's an independent logger.
Wow.
Yeah, he has his own logging business. So
he just goes out there and cuts trees.
Goes out there, cuts trees, has his own truck and loader, and does all that shit. And 49 years old doing it. He's about to retire, actually. 50.
At 49.
He's retiring at 50. He's been breaking his ass, working a ton, and we'll talk about it, so he can retire at 50. And he's 49, so it's happening. He's known for being a real, always smiling, really laid back kind of cat. He is not, like, even as we'll talk about with the kids, he is kids will be kids, man. No discipline type of guy. He's almost like a hippie when it comes to that sort of thing, like a 60s hippie. He's a strange kind of, but he's also a logger, and we'll talk about religion and everything. This is a funny story about him. One time he caught a fish when he was a kid, and it was during a family trip, and his mom wasn't there. So it was like a fishing trip with his family without mom there. So he put the fish in his jacket pocket.
Ew.
Because he didn't realize, and he's like, I'll take this home and show mom. But you know how kids don't remember shit.
Yeah.
So he got home and just took his jacket off and threw it down, and stuff piled up.
Oh, no.
And he forgot about the fish, and the whole house stunk of fish for rotten. They couldn't fucking find it. Yeah, fished her up. Good. Shrouded mom up, and then finally they found his jacket with this rotting fish corpse in it for fucking days on end. Nasty shit. So I thought that was a funny one. Yeah. I mean, nice thought, though. I mean, that's a very kid thing to do. He does back-breaking, ball-busting in the woods, taking down trees, cutting logs, his whole life from a young age on. We'll talk about his family is involved in all this shit. So, I mean, it is like that's his whole hard work, and that's why he wants to retire at 50.
You got to get it all done while your body's able, and then
you can't
coast.
This is almost like an athlete. Like, you can't log when you're 68 years old. That's a tough.
How are you gonna climb a fucking sequoia at
62?
Yeah,
it's not. It just sounds brutal. I don't want to do that now, and I'm 20 years younger. I still don't want to have any part of that shit whatsoever. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News & World Report 5 years in a row. and by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So Diana is his wife, and she worked with him in his business and, helped him out with his stuff. But as we'll talk about, she ends up suffering from multiple sclerosis.
Shit.
And so by 2000, she rarely leaves the house. She's in a wheelchair when she does. She kind of scoots around the house on an office chair. She kind of like in the kitchen, she'll go around. She cooks and shit still, but she just goes around the kitchen on an office chair. She's got a good spirit, Diana, very much. And she even at one point, there was an elderly neighbor who was ill, and she would wheel over there and bring her wood and firewood and shit on her wheelchair.
What?
Firewood and food and things to her elderly neighbor because she was a nice lady, basically, is what we're getting at here. We'll go back to 1970. Let's go back 30 years. And this is when these two meet. Robert and Diana meet in 1970 in Orchards, Washington, which is, it's it's just a suburb, a lot of tract homes. It's one of those type of things. Like it had just been put up, this suburb, when they were all moving in here. His family here, Robert, his father worked for the state highway department. So they came there for that. And Diana and her 3 siblings came with her mom, who was starting over because she just got a divorce from their father in California. So this was 1970. It was tough to get a divorce and, go move somewhere with your kids. And that was a difficult thing to do back then. That wasn't easy at all. So that's what they had done. They met. They were only a few houses apart. Robert and Diana. So that's how they met. They became, a few houses apart. They started being friends.
That's an easy move.
It's easy, right?
Yeah.
Diana's sister, her name is, unfortunately for her, Pam Ham.
Yeah.
Her name is Pam Ham.
You can't.
If my name is Pam, and it's back in the day where, you get married, you take the name. Right. And I go, I'm sorry. I love you.
Dog. Yeah. What's your last name? No.
No. We can hang out till we meet other people or something. That's fine. Right. But it's nothing against you. But I can't be Pam Ham. I just can't do it. I don't want to be
Julia
Pam Ham.
Julia. It's never happening.
I don't want to be Pam Ham. That's the problem. I could be, but I don't want to be. I really don't. Pam Ham. So Pam Ham said, quote, their courtship was so short, all of a sudden they were getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah, very which is, why it's surprising is mainly they get married. This is not cool. They get married on December 15th, 1972. Okay. Yeah. At that moment when they get married, Rob is 21 years old. Diana is 15 years old. Oh, God. So that means they met in 1970 when he was 19 and she was 13.
No!
I get that things were different in 1970 and shit like that, but at no point when I was 19, I never even thought of looking at an 8th grader and being like, yeah, like, no, I wanted a girl who was like 23.
On her.
Yeah. I wanted a girl who was like 23 at that point. You know what I mean? Didn't you? Oh, you're looking for?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. Some chick that knows how to do shots. You know what I mean?
Right. Some girl that smokes.
Yeah. 13. I'd be like, oh, God. Jesus Christ.
Boy,
that's young.
oh, boy. Somebody that can drive me when I'm drunk.
And it would be fun. Exactly. Hey, you get behind the wheel. I've had a few. So I would understand, like, maybe if they met when they were younger and then, project like 20 years later they ran into each other again and he was 38 and she was 32 and then who gives a shit at that? Oh, I know you. But romantic relationship at 19 and 13 is...
James, at that point, like, you can see people like being involved with each other that aren't like a pair that match because they both bring something to the table. At 13, you don't even bring income to the table. What are we doing?
You don't know anything. What kind of conversation are you having with a 13-year-old?
You literally do nothing for me except for one thing, and that makes it gross and illegal.
Gross. Otherwise, what are you talk to her about? Her math homework?
It's dumb.
And then she's married at 15. So is she going to go to school still? Is she going to be
still brings nothing to the table?
Is she going to be married in high school algebra? That's just weird. I'm
sorry,
strange.
I don't have the report this week. I was picking out a dress.
I'm very sorry. Congratulations, by the way, to Mrs. Carpenter, our science teacher who caught the bouquet. That was very nice for her. Good luck, Mrs. Carpenter. Fingers crossed for her. She's very lonely. Very lonely.
I said yes to the dress, but I don't have my report on fucking... In 8th grade, what do you have?
I say no to my book report.
I said yes to the dress, but no to Earth science.
Yeah, not going to happen. This is weird as shit. So that's what's going on. I'm against. You know what? I'll go out on a limb here. I'll say it. I'm against 21-year-old men marrying 15-year-old fucking girls. I'm against that. Just in general.
How could you say something so controversial?
I'm sorry. That's what I mean. I don't mean to rock boats out there. There's going to be people sending us tweets going, hey, what the fuck, man? We're going to get called out. I understand. But, hey, I'm not kink shaming or anything. But this is...
May as well fold this podcast game up, James.
This is... I would call this... I get that, like, the parents say it's okay and all that. But this is what I would call, or what the law would call... child molesting. No, yes. Isn't that what the law would call it? Just
exactly what it is.
Overview,
it is rape
umbrella of it. And just because her dad said it's okay, that doesn't mean it's we should, as a society, it's okay, right? Yeah. That's just weird. But either way,
times change. But 1972 seems way too recent.
That seems late. The only thing, I get it if it was like 1872, like things were different then, or even younger in another country. Like we've talked about, I have an aunt that got given to like a 60-year-old man when she was 17 because her first husband, who they were both kids, was murdered in the street in Italy. It's a long story. So this old man could take her to America, and that was the whole point. Was like she's going to get to go to America, so it was worth it for her to be married to an old man. Very weird. So
by 72, all the like best race car, you know what I mean? Like all the like Americana of like weird shit happening, like backseat fucking, all that seems in my it feels like by then it's all over, and now
feels
it's
all over. Yeah, this is like
we've made mistakes and we're getting better.
Well, we've gone through free love already. We've gone through hippies and free love, and we've come full circle here. Like this is not. It's just weird at this point. So. Anyway, either way, they get married, and for years they kept moving back and forth between the Vancouver area on the Washington side, though, and a plot of land that Rob purchased here outside Northport, Washington, near the Canadian border. Okay. So while they're in Vancouver, they share a duplex with Pam Ham and her new husband, Lawrence Ham, unfortunately. Larry Ham. Hi, Larry and Pam Ham here. Oh, God. Pam and Larry Ham?
Oh,
poor people. That they can't help their name, but you can change it. So
does he go by Lamb?
Oh, man, I'm Lamb Ham. So they'd move in with Pam Ham and Lamb Ham here in Vancouver. Rob, what do you think he wants to do for a living, Jimmy?
He's a logger, right? That's what he wants to do?
Well, that's what he is later.
That's
He's
what he ends
logger.
up being. What did he want to do? Then, I don't know.
His dream?
Daycare runner?
No. He dreamed of being a rock star, Jimmy.
Of course he did.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think you expected that at all. Your look on your face was like, that wasn't in my top 5. He wants to be a rock star.
Yeah.
Which would explain his predilection for younger women, as we've talked about before the show. We were discussing, because I was reading R. Kelly's the book about R. Kelly again. Soulless. Read it if you haven't. He is horrible. Oh, my God.
Would he be defined as soulless, Jay?
Soulless. That's a perfect way to put it. But we were discussing it in the book. They were talking about what is it with rock stars needing to like marry teenage girls, because you can go through, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, Marvin Gaye. There's a fucking list that goes on forever.
Historical. Yeah.
You're like, what's happening here? So, and everyone was like, well, he married her. It's like, she's 14. I don't care if he married her. I don't care what he did with her. That's crazy. Unless he gave her a homework assignment, I don't like this relationship.
But a vast majority of them pick one child.
Yeah, not R. Kelly,
Right, and then age her into appropriate.
Yeah. R. Kelly had just a teen zoo going on in his house where he kept them in separate displays. It was creepy. So
I hate it so much.
It's so gross. So Rob, though, dreams of being a rock star, and he and Larry Ham are going to form the band. Telling you, the Lam and Pam Ham Band is coming, man. The Lam and Pam Ham Band. We're gonna play Farm Jam this year. The Lam and Pam Ham Band is gonna play Farm Jam. See us at Farm Jam. The Lam and Pam Ham Jam Band. Yeah. This is crazy.
This is nuts. What does he play? Does he play guitar?
They both play electric guitar. So in the garage. So they're playing. They need other.
They need a drummer.
They need a drummer. That's number one. A bass player really helps to keep the whole thing going. And then at some point, someone's going to have to sing, maybe, or not. Maybe they'll be like Santana, and they'll just bring in different singers. You never know who's a virtuoso on that bad boy.
Be Dave Matthews and play 20 minutes of instrumental before you sing a fucking lick of any words.
If you do it well enough, I guess you can get
none
people
of the words make sense anyway.
Yeah, if you do it well enough, 100,000 stone people will watch you do it. It'll be wonderful. The Lam and Pam Ham Band is at Farm Jam. I can't get over that. So this is ridiculous. One of Rob's brothers or sisters here called him, his sister Faye called him, quote, a dreamer and a schemer. That's how he was. Quote, he always had ideas to make money and work toward early retirement.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if those
gave
are
him half a chorus, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's. They wrote "Taking Care of Business" first. Did you know that? That was stolen from them. Actually, they were like, "Son of a bitch."
He used to be a joker and a smoker, but now he's a dreamer and a schemer.
A dreamer. I'm a schemer. Oh, Jesus!
Finger of a teener.
Oh my God.
Gross.
I'ma marry me a teener. Oh yeah. Oh Jesus.
Gross.
Playing my music in the garage. So that's what they're doing. This whole thing is gross. He always has ideas. At one point he collected night crawlers, worms. Yeah. From the golf course where he worked and sold them to fishermen. So he worked the golf course anyway, so sell them for bait.
A bait shop.
He had a paper route. He sold firewood. He had like any little business he could figure out in between to do.
He had every 16-year-old's job.
Every 16-year-old's job and their girlfriend at the same time. So this is really weird shit here. This is my wife. Well, no, she can't come to dinner tonight because she's got to be in school in the morning. Right. And no, not the university. Actually, up in Colville at the middle school. So
that's my wife. She'll come over when she's done doing her chores at her dad's house.
She is supposed to be here, but she done got detention. I was mad at her. I'm like, you need to control yourself because we had an important dinner with my boss tonight, and goddamn it, you're sitting in there in detention. It ain't fair. What are you talking about? You got a Saturday. The kids have a Little League game on Saturday. Goddamn it, you can't be in detention. These are many among the many reasons why you don't ever try to be with a teenage girl. That's one of the reasons why if you're an adult. So, in addition to it being disgusting and illegal. So, when they weren't in Vancouver, they were living in an A-frame house that Rob built on a mountaintop near his parcel. Or on his parcel. So
you got to assume it's shaddily built. You know what I mean?
He slapped it together. But he seems to know how to do shit, though, as we'll talk about here. They had just a structure. There's no phone, electricity. For a long time, no indoor plumbing.
Right. That's what I mean. It's
not just a shack.
Right. Yeah. It's just shelter. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a lean-to. It's not good.
It's a block of wind. It's like where Abe Lincoln grew up. This is crazy. So either, they're going to be hillbilly mountain people or he'll be the 16th president of the United States. We don't know. It could work out. He could be our greatest statesman or not. So in winter, this place was only accessible by snowmobile.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he couldn't even drive to it. He had to park.
This is torturous.
He had to park at the bottom of the hill and be like, hop on, sweetie, and then drive on a snowmobile up there.
You got to brave the weather home.
Oh, man. He would string lights throughout the A-frame there, and then he would hook them to his truck battery for light. So he'd string like Christmas lights up and hook them to the truck battery. So they had lights in the house.
That's not a solution.
My God. He ended up going to Northport also because he wanted to log as well because he saw money in logging. Yeah. His father and grandfather, both Pacific Northwest loggers. So he is a logging family. He is
through and through.
Yeah, he comes from brawny country here. So his grandfather, Henry, had come to the area in 1916 and built a mill in Curlew, Washington. And they said the remains of it were still standing as of 2000 of this mill. So I don't think it was operational, but there was still hey, that building used to be something. Rob started working at the family sawmill when he was 14. Okay. So I don't know if that... We always talk about stunted childhood. Was that it? At 14, he had to be an adult and work in a sawmill. So, that's when he stopped. So he was like,
that's what he sees himself as. Yeah,
because I don't know what it is. I'm not making an excuse, obviously. No, we're trying to find a goddamn reason, like a profiler, That's
as psychological as it gets.
Yeah.
It's his childhood was ruined, and that's what he sees himself as.
That's what it was.
He had to grow up too quick.
So anyway, they're married. They're married. They're building an A-frame house. In 1976, they have a son. So she's 19 by now. They have a son named Clint. Clinton is his name. Clint, they call him. Now, sometime around 1980, they joined the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, man.
So some Jehovah's Witnesses had a snowmobile and a mighty, mighty strong pitch. We'll put it that way. Although, if someone snowmobiles all the way up your hill to your door, you kind of got to hear them out, right?
They've earned it.
Yeah, I feel like you've at least earned me standing in front of you for 2 minutes and give me your spiel and your little pamphlet. We could burn it for warmth anyway. So
you beat the Mormons. You clearly want me.
Yeah, no shit. You the Mormons? Nope. Damn. Y'all are persistent.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. So they joined the Jehovah's Witnesses. Relatives they're not from Jehovah's Witness families or anything. So their relatives were like, what the fuck? The Jehovah's Witnesses were a stand-up comedy punchline for 20 years. And then there's a knock at the door and it's the Jehovah's Witnesses. Right. Ha, 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 ha. That's a fucking forever. It's an old trope by then. So they're like, they joined the Jehovah's Witnesses?
I knew a couple when I was younger, and their kid was Jehovah.
Yeah,
and I mean they were raising him that way, and I even then I was like, "Are you serious? You really?"
It's I knew a girl.
You got duped.
It's weird. What was the pitch? They came to you. You came to them. How'd it work? So whatever you're into is fine, but I mean, it's matter, just it seems like
it's how it feels.
Yeah, it's like if Ron Popeil had a religion. You're like,
right. I don't need a slap chop.
Actively pitching it. It's a weird. So anyway, I knew a girl in elementary school who was a Jehovah's Witness. She was a really, really, really nice girl. Really cool, too. She was funny. She was totally normal. It wasn't like she was a weirdo or anything like that. Right. But I felt so bad for her because whenever we did anything, they had to leave the room. So, I mean, if it was fucking, a Thanksgiving thing, and we were just making, like, gluing leaves to a goddamn sheet of construction paper, she'd have to go sit in the hallway while we did it. You know what I mean? I just felt bad for her. And she was so nice. Nobody made fun of her, really, because she said, it's my religion, I'm not allowed. And we were always like, oh, that sucks. And she was like, yeah, it sucks. And we really felt bad for her, because she wasn't like, no, it's the God's blah, blah, blah. She was just like, yeah, I want to do that stuff, but I'm not allowed. And I was like, damn.
I want to participate.
Yeah, I was like, that sucks, man. So anyway, they joined the religion, and it's very strict, and, the family didn't get it. And then they started changing to the family as well. Faye said, quote, it appeared in the beginning that they were a closer family unit, and then they just kind of pulled away from all of us. The fun times didn't happen so much anymore.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're only coming over there at holidays and such and seeing people, and that's what they're celebrating, it's like, then I'm not coming because I can't do that.
And they don't do holidays anymore. So they used to have family gatherings for birthdays. Anybody had a birthday, they'd have big birthday parties and all. They also don't celebrate birthdays. So the only thing, from what I understand, the only thing Jehovah's Witnesses celebrate is wedding anniversaries. You're allowed to celebrate that because that has something to do with God. That's something, that's some God shit. So, yeah, they're like, oh, okay, you can celebrate that, whereas nothing else can. So that's any other holidays. You can't celebrate Arbor Day, for Christ's sake. You're not allowed to plant a tree.
You're robbing yourself of great meals because there's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Christmas, Thanksgiving, who gives a fuck what it's about? It's the food.
You've been to my house on Christmas Eve. It's wild,
I'm celebrating food. I'm not
it's a wild scene
Jesus.
Here. Yeah, Jesus. Have you ever? Christ, man. That's what they need. They need a good Italian Christmas Eve. It'll change their whole.
See how few people mention Jesus and just have a goddamn steak.
It's just a lot of food. That's all they're mentioning is indigestion possibly will come up. They'll go, Jesus Christ.
I'll be saying Jesus, but it's because I'm so full.
I am really full. Now, the families, though, they missed him, obviously. They missed the family, but they actually respected their lifestyle. They weren't like, Rob and Diana weren't like, oh, go fuck yourselves. They were just like, listen, we just can't celebrate that stuff. So it was still all very nice and friendly. Everything was very friendly. 1982, there's another child due. They have a little girl at that point named Jolene. Jolene.
Yeah.
So, that's when they left the A-frame house because they had been living there with Clint in the A-frame house. The little boy. Yeah, he's fucking 6 by 1982.
That's a rugged little 6-year-old.
Clint is rugged, yeah. Clint can, take a tree down, no problem.
That's a bad motherfucker.
There. Wrap a rope around that side. Hold on, let me get the chains. And he's just walking over there, cigarette hanging out of his mouth. You're like, he's 5. That's wild.
Plugging the lights into the battery.
Yeah, hold on. Let me hook the battery up to that. Get some power in here. You're like, what? Who is this kid? Who is this? Who is this child? So that's what they were doing. They left there for a rental house in Colville. And that's when they moved to Colville. Clint entered the 1st grade at the school in Colville. And Rob started a lawn mowing business that became pretty damn successful. And Diana ended up taking it over and ran it with Rob's sister, Faye.
No shit.
They ran the lawn mowing business together, and Rob started a logging business. So started one business, had them take it over, and then moved on to logging.
If it's green, we'll cut it.
Yeah, he wants to retire early. Let's get businesses going. I can't log forever. So he's doing all that. He's laboring in the woods. He's out there sunrise to after dark. Sure. I mean, working 12, 14-hour days.
Out work in the sun.
That's what he had to do. He's making his own money. Clint would say later that he remembered one time that Rob totaled his pickup truck because he worked he was working 15, 16 hours and he just fell asleep at the wheel. And now after a few years, everything seems to be going fine, but sometime in the mid-'80s, Rob says, I'm not into this religion shit anymore. He goes, I'm not doing this Jehovah's Witness shit anymore.
He realized he's been robbed of a good steak.
Well, he said that he questioned the teachings, first of all. He didn't like the fact that they couldn't celebrate holidays. And he said that he didn't like the churchgoers because they were, quote, gossipy. So, gossiping ass people. Yeah. I'm going to not fucking have a goddamn giant turkey and a roast beef. I'm not going to do all this. I'm going to miss out on trimmings and
put up with this
stuffing. And on top of all this shit, you people are going to talk behind my back and whisper? Fuck you. I'm going to eat Christmas dinner on your front lawn, bitch. Fuck you. That's right.
I want a meat lollipop. That's what I want.
That's right. Tell your husband what I said. Tell him to come the fuck over, too. God damn it. On Christmas morning, we'll be opening presents, bitch. Fuck you. Ah. And he left.
I hope he lies to you, comes over and has a fucking steak on Christmas, and then comes home burping rosemary in your face.
That's burping a garlic glaze, goddamn. So Diana, though, she stays in the church.
Yeah.
She stays in the church and continues to raise the children as Jehovah's Witnesses. So
half the bed's religious?
Essentially, yeah. The two kids and her are Jehovah's Witnesses, and he's like, I'm a man of the logs. That's what I am. I believe in the tree god. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm not interested in this.
Yeah.
So there was that. They argued some about religion and mainly about how to raise the kids, but it was never, he's so laid back that it is... Yeah. It doesn't ever, and she's not aggressive either. So I mean, between the two of them, they're looking for solutions and they're looking to work stuff out. So it's not like they're, nobody's too crazy. So these two are reasonable people and they tend to work things out together, which is
that's great. Yeah,
pretty great, honestly. So good for them. Now their daughter Jolene, in 2000, she's 18 years old, as we said. She was born in 82. Jolene she did much of the housework. Because she's a senior at Colville High School. She's got a lot going on, too. She is an honor student. Yeah. She plays tennis. She's in the choir. Mm-hmm. She's also got a boyfriend who nobody really knows yet. The family doesn't know, but we think she's possibly engaged to be married at this point as well.
Shit.
To her boyfriend, Dylan Simpkins. So, she's got that going. She hasn't told her family yet. They don't know how they're going to react, but that's in there. She's looking forward to graduating. She's super nice. She's one of these girls. She seems like she's like kind of sweet for being 18, and for sweet, I mean kind of youngish. Like, she's 18 and like her room, she has a Winnie the Pooh floor mat still and stuff like that. Like she's into cartoony, nothing bad, just
a couple of years behind her.
Yeah, but she does everything like everybody else. She just likes kiddie stuff like that. She has like toys and like stuffed animals everywhere, and she's the
18-year-old with the Hello Kitty shit all over.
That's
her
it.
room.
She's really into NSYNC. Yeah. At the time, she loves NSYNC. She's got pictures, the pictures from photo booths. She's got them lining her fucking mirror in her room. I mean, seriously, that's all actually there. She has a jean jacket she wears all the time, hanging up as her pressed cheerleader outfit as well. She's not a cheerleader, by the way.
She just has one.
She just, I don't know, she just wants to throw down some spice up the night with Dylan or what. But no, she likes to play jokes. And one night she and her friend dressed up as cheerleaders to play a joke on her boyfriend, I guess. They were doing something, I don't know.
She bought a cheerleader outfit to
play a joke.
Prank and then kept it.
Because
it's an expensive joke.
I could see his dick was hard, so I was like, all right.
So I figured, this may work later.
Keep this for later. So either way, no, Jolene is just a nice kid. Nice kid. Mm-hmm. They all say too, her friends say she like makes handmade gifts for people all the time. Yeah. And not like garbage either. She's talented at engraving. She knows how to engrave shit, and she's really good at flower arrangements as well.
Sick.
So she like engraves things for people.
That's what I want my daughter to do.
She's cool as shit. She's a really, really, really nice girl, and everybody says she's always happy and smiling and has nothing to be upset about in life. Just happy as a pig in shit. Now she's got a younger brother here who's born in 1984. 2 years younger than her, much like you have. Yeah. How much older is your older sister?
My older sister's 2 years older than me.
There you go. So same exact thing here.
Yeah.
He's a baby-faced kid, real baby-faced. Look, if you look at his face, he looks like he's 10, but he's 6'1", about 240 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a big boy at 16.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's William Lee is his name. Goes by Willie.
Really?
Willie. Hi,
Is
Willie.
That right?
That's I'm gonna be. I've never met a 16-year-old Willie. Have you?
No.
Never. Right? You don't get to be Willie till you're like 45. I think.
My stepbrother's name was William, and he went by Scott.
There's no 16-year-old Willies. There's 16-year-old Billies, but there's no 16-year-old Willies. That just doesn't work like that.
Willie's weird.
Willie is weird for a 16-year-old.
I think when it became synonymous with a dick, people stopped saying it.
That was well before 2000, so... When you have a name like William, you can choose several names. That's the other part. There's like 8 fucking nicknames for that, and you pick the worst one. You pick Willie. It's like someone's name Richard. You can go with Rick. You can be Ricky. You can be Rich. You can be Richie. And you're like, how about Dick? What? You have 4 other options. You're going with that?
And Richie might be the scariest one. That's like the most intimidating one, I think.
Yeah, Richie's I got a lot of cousins named Richie. Richie's very Italian.
Richie's
There's a lot of Richies.
Scary name.
A lot of Richies. Hey, Richie, how you doing? A lot of Richies going on.
Every kid I've known named Richie was into some bad shit.
Yeah. Ricky is a kid who gets laid in high school and then works
dies
at
on a rope swing.
Either dies on a rope swing or works at the music shop in town until it goes out of business, and then you never hear from him again. One of the two. He's a rope swing guy.
Since he's 11.
Oh, always. Everybody in town's first cigarette was with Ricky. He was like, just try it. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah. No, you got to inhale. I saw it. You didn't inhale.
With his Motley Crue Girls t-shirt when he's 11.
You'll feel it. You'll know when you inhale. It hurts, right? It's awesome.
Yeah, you're going to get lightheaded. Isn't that great? So Willie drives a red pickup truck. That's what Willie's up to here. Likes to fish in a nearby creek.
Yeah.
Hangs out. Nice kid around the neighborhood. There's a neighbor here who's a waitress at the restaurant in town, and she says that he sometimes plays with her grandkids and always seems like a nice guy to her, Sure. So that's good. Yeah. He ran into some trouble recently, as we'll talk about. Nothing huge, but kind of kid shit here. He was homeschooled this past year. They took him out of school and homeschooled him. And when you hear what he was doing in school, you'll go, okay, well, that makes sense. A change was clearly needed. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. Yeah. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero Bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. Yeah. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late-night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. No compromises, just flavor, ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees and fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. Yeah. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping. You got a car payment due. There's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in Spot Me and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
So his brother and sister had attended Colville, the school in Colville, but he was homeschooled this last year. Now, it started out in second grade. Basically, they tried to make special efforts to help him. He's not dumb either, by the way. That's the thing. He's a smart kid. He just has no focus. It seems like he just needs. He's ADHD or some shit. Like he has no focus at all, as we'll talk about here. So in second grade, they tried to help him. Didn't really work. They, moved him up to third grade here. His teacher reported in third grade that he was rarely on task. So that seems about right. By fourth grade, he was failing math, science, and PE. Not doing well.
Really?
Yeah, failing math and science, which those are ones, if you have ADD, they're very hard to keep your fucking attention because they're...
But PE, generally, if you're failing some sort of academic something, you can manage PE. That's better. Pretty easy.
Unless he just doesn't want to do what he did. By 2000, he is on his third try at the seventh grade.
Oh, no.
It's his third try, and he's 16 years old.
And he's huge.
And he's 6'1", 240 pounds in the seventh grade.
If he didn't stand out from all the rumor mill of everybody knowing that he's held back, he's certainly standing out when he walks above the crowd. Yeah,
the other kids are 12. He's 16. That's a big difference. He drives to seventh grade. That should tell you something.
Boy, oh boy.
How many kids?
Good.
I didn't drive to seventh grade.
Nope.
Drove to 11th grade, not seventh grade. So he's also got a little bit of a problem. Oh, that was it. In the sixth grade, this is probably a part of it too. He was, in his school record, he had 43 minor misbehavior infractions in the sixth grade.
43.
So that's when they write you up, you get a referral. He had 43 referrals in the sixth grade. Many, that's a lot. That's a lot.
43.
43 is like every third day you get a referral. That's a lot,
There's
man.
9 weeks and a quarter. What is that? I guess 36?
I think the school year is 180 days. So
that
tells you
so
there.
many.
That's a lot. It's like every 4 days you're getting written up. That's too many. Not great. One of the infractions was for hacking into a teacher's computer and changing the password on her. So,
at least it's funny.
That's kind of funny, actually. Yeah, they weren't. He's not like bullying people. He's not pushing anybody down. He's just kind of doesn't. He's ADD. He doesn't stay on task. He does his own thing, and then the shit that he gets into is this. So he's not dumb. You can't be dumb to hack into somebody's computer and change their password. You're not a moron, obviously. So there's something going on here. One of his aunts said that, quote, Will was one of the most gentle kids that she ever came across. This is Faye saying that. She said, Diana said he was always the most loving boy. When he was 8 or 9, he'd rub her hand and look at her and say, I love you, Mommy. So, yeah, little kids do that kind of shit. So Faye said, I didn't see anything but a big teddy bear until he was 14. And that's when he started acting out. Yeah, when he was 14.
They do.
He wanted to drive. Mm-hmm. And he would take the car out and go for too far and long. He would like, I'm going to go down the street and back, and then he would
they take a mile,
take it out into the forest and drive around and shit like that. Which the thing about that is, you just don't let the kid drive at all when they're 14. That works also,
because generally that's against the law.
Against the law, but. In these very, very rural areas, not a small town. We're talking there's 100 people here. There's nobody here. So the rules are a little bit different. There's no cops unless you call them, first of all. They're not like they're driving down the street, so he's not going to get pulled over or any bullshit like that. So it's just the rules of engagement are a little different when it comes to this type of deal.
And and even in Arizona, I would drive street legal vehicles. I would drive them in the desert. But the difference is I wouldn't get it back out on the fucking road and go home.
Oh, he's tearing ass all around.
Yeah.
So he wanted to do that. I guess he started staying out. He stayed out like all night a couple of times and started to drink. He'd hang out and drink with his friends in the woods. When he hit puberty, that's when the weight gain came on. So he started getting real big, real fast, and started having more trouble in school, like not just staying on task, but the disciplinary problems. That's when the sixth grade, 43 infractions, failing seventh grade twice, all of that sort of thing. So, but very good with computers, they said. That's one thing. He also hacked into a teacher's computer at one point to change students' grades. So he thought that was fun too.
Now you're doing bad shit.
Yeah, but still pretty damn cool. It's bad, but when Susie did it for Dustin on Stranger Things, everybody said, oh, isn't that cute? Right? That was fine then. Oh, it's great when it's for Dusty Buns. Now we're all fucking happy.
Yeah, but he's got a lisp.
But when Fat Ass here does it, yeah. He's got curly hair and a lisp. It's fine.
And he plays with radios and shit.
Yeah, you know how it goes. He sets up a ham radio. You can't be upset with that. So, yeah, he's doing that sort of thing. You know, he's hanging out. His father would brag to everybody who would listen that William's going to be able to make a lot of money without ever having to fucking labor in the woods like the last 3 generations of his family, is what he would say.
He's going to get it by hacking into the bank's mainframe and transferring it into his account.
Yeah, but in 2000, dude, do you remember that time? If anybody knew anything about computers, people were like, he's a computer genius. He's going to go. Because you'd see, like, you know, people who knew about computers, quote unquote, if you didn't know it, they're making billions of dollars, so he's going to do the same thing. Meanwhile, every 16-year-old knows how to do this shit that he was doing, I'm sure. Right. But just kind of the way it
Parents don't know how to do it, so they're impressed.
Yeah, exactly. He became interested in the internet at this point, too. He's getting into the internet more. He likes playing computer games and shit like that. They didn't even know he was on the internet. They didn't know he was using the internet because he spliced a telephone line coming into the house and secretly ran a cable for his modem into his bedroom out of that.
That's genius.
So that's what I mean. The kid's, he's got...
resourceful.
He's resourceful. So he'd be doing that. Faye, the aunt, said he'd be up until 2 or 3 in the morning typing away up there. So that's what he'd be doing. And that was instead of doing like homework and shit, which is why he's 16 years old in the goddamn 7th grade, which is remarkable. That's insanity. I can't even process that.
Yeah. I mean, at least utilize the internet. Yeah. At least utilize the internet to absorb some information to maybe boost you into 8th grade.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, look it up by now. I'd just be tired of hearing the same crap for the 3rd time by now. Even if I wasn't interested, I'd be like, I gotta get out of here.
How do you do the 7th grade twice and still not have all the answers?
Yeah, right? Remember it, bro, by now.
By now, it should just be, you should know it all.
Oh, yeah, I tried A and B. Let's try C this time.
You got to do it 4 times because the right answer was D.
Yeah, shit. All the above. Damn it.
Process of elimination. Eventually, I'll get it.
One more time. Let's go through 7th grade. So, also the previous summer here in 2000, and that summer he ran away from home for a few days.
Yeah.
And ran away from home, got in a little trouble while he was gone, and he took $25 worth of rolled coins.
Yeah.
And a silver bar, you know, like those bars that are actual thing, worth $166 from a neighbor's home. So he, like, broke in and stole shit.
Yeah. He got $190.
$190 is his big haul because he ran away, so he needs money. And he ends up being charged with theft for that, though.
Yeah.
He actually is charged, arrested, and everything else. He is sentenced to, you little young man... can fuck off, 12 months of community supervision, so probation for 12 months, basically, and 40 hours of community service at the nearby Dog Patch Animal Shelter.
That sounds like a great time.
That sounds like fun, which is operated by a neighbor of his named Joyce. And Joyce described him as, quote, pleasant, somewhat quiet boy who said that he felt unwanted at home. That's what she told him. She recalled an incident where... while she was, this is weird, he became angry. She doesn't know why. She doesn't know what caused it, what, set him off. But he ran into the woods and beat the bark off of a tree with a hammer.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Which is just a weird thing to do. That's just
you got pups around, man. How can you be so mad?
I need to beat things with a hammer. Like, that is just... fucking very, very strange. I don't know if that was at the dog shelter or around the neighborhood, though, because that's a neighbor, too. So I'm not sure. She ended up saying, Joyce said that it does appear there was some anger and some arguments that have occurred not just recently, but over some period of time with him, obviously. He spent 6 days in Martin Hall Juvenile Detention Center in Medical Lake. What a terrible name for a lake.
That's gross.
Sounds like there's going to be bloody gauze and syringes washing up on shore. Medical Lake?
Yeah.
Don't go in there. Biohazard signs everywhere.
A lot of insulin sampling kits.
Yeah, just disgusting. Jesus. So after he got out of Martin Hall and was put on probation, his brother Clint, his big brother, had a talk with him.
Okay.
His big brother's...
He's the baby, right? He's got his brother, his sister, and then him. And he's being a shithead. So Clint's got to give him a come to Jesus.
He's got a little brother, too, who we'll talk about in a second.
There's 4 of them.
Yeah, there's 4 kids altogether. So he ends up, his big brother has to have a talk with him, though. Big brother doesn't even live in the house anymore. He moved out. He's going to have a man-to-man chat with him here. And he said, listen, dude, I'll make a deal with you. It's a good older brother. This is like John Cusack in Stand By Me or some shit. Like, very good older brother. He said, if you agree, Willie, to behave and do your chores and do everything mom and dad tell you to do, your mom said she agreed that she will buy the parts to fix up that old white Camaro that's sitting on the property.
Hell yeah.
Okay? Clint said, I will help you put it together, and I'll do the mechanical work with you, teach you, and get it up and running together, and you'll have a better car. So that's pretty cool, I would say, of older brother. So that's the deal they make with him. Diana tried to homeschool him. That's why he hasn't been in school the last year, because he's been homeschooled by Diana just because he had so much problem in school. So she's like, maybe this will be easier. Maybe it'll be better to focus, but it doesn't go well at all. And he's all set to, we're talking December of 2000. He's set to go back to public school in Colville after the Christmas break to go be a third-time 7th grader who's 16 years old in school. So, he registered there, and he's ready to go. One of his friend's parents said he's a good kid. I never saw him do drugs or drink or anything. He was friendly and very nice always. So, but he does drink sometimes, but not around people. He's not openly disrespectful. He doesn't do any shit like that. Now, Faye, Robert's sister, said she believes the lifestyle restrictions that they impose on the kids, religion-wise, makes him act out and go out and drink all night. Yeah. She said there are too many rules for a kid and too many things that make them different. A kid doesn't say the Pledge of Allegiance, and other kids call him a communist. Because that's the other thing, too. You can't say the Pledge of Allegiance. There's a bunch of different things. So that's
communists.
It is northeastern Washington.
Yeah,
so, I mean, I think a lot of things will get you. What's your hair growing past your ears, you goddamn communist? Like, there's a lot of beard down to the chest, hair shaved up tight. Goddamn it. Jesus Christ. These people are never going to learn what the correct look is supposed to be.
That's America.
That's America. So she said it does appear there's some anger and some arguments that have occurred, though, in there. So, but she said he also, the principal of the school that all the kids went to, said that he always seems very close to his sister. I've never heard a derogatory word that he's ever said about his family or anything. So, he just seems like a troubled 16-year-old. And then there's Wesley.
It's a pretty good appraisal of what kids are too, because even in a godless house, even in my house where we had no religion, there was still rules. You know what I mean? And those rules hampered down on you feel like a weight and feel like you can handle more, and this is bullshit that these people would do this to me. And then you add religion and religious style rules, man. That's heavy.
And you add the fact that on all the kids' birthdays there's cupcakes except on your birthday, and then when they break the cupcakes out, guess what you get to do? Go out in the fucking hallway and sit there. You had to go sit in the hallway. I remember that girl. She'd have to leave while we ate cupcakes.
Awful.
And I'm like, what kind of God doesn't want you to have cupcakes?
Yeah,
That's a terrible deity. Like, fuck.
We did one of those parades at school on Halloween where we all like fucking did makeup or whatever, got into a costume, and then walked through the fucking halls.
Yeah.
And the girl in our class that was Jehovah decided that day, she's like, fucking, I'm breaking the rules. She's like, can I borrow your makeup? And she did.
Yeah.
She made herself a clown and wandered through the fucking school.
That's so sad that now she's burning in hell. That's so sad.
I ruined her. Poor thing.
That's right. So they did. In 1988, they had Wesley. So it was 84 for 84. William's born. Wesley's born in 88. So now Diana said she felt awful when she was pregnant with Wesley too. She said the other kids were easy for her to have, but after Wesley, she said she felt really tired, and she's like, maybe I'm getting older, or I don't know what it was, but turns out she's diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at that point.
Yeah.
So she has MS. My stepfather has MS. It's vicious, nasty shit.
Terrible stuff, man.
Nasty, and you need you need the medications make it livable. You know what I mean? It really, really helps a lot. But it said that the drugs helped her temporarily, but then the symptoms returned and she started going into decline, which a lot of times with MS, you have to switch drugs, change drugs. It's a nasty disease. It really is. It's really nasty.
And rest is important. And if she's out there mowing lawns and shit in the summer, that's not helping.
It's rough. So Pam Ham said, quote, "So from then on, no more doctors. She didn't trust them. She was afraid they'd make her worse. So she instead sought out herbal and homeopathic remedies. And Rob started working more hours even, is what he would do. And while this happened, Clint always said it was his father's way of dealing with it. He just worked more. And so Diana, though, she tried to be active and tried to keep going. She said no one ever heard her complain or anything like that. She just tried to do her shit. She went from having to walk with a cane to a walker to a wheelchair. She just went steadily downhill when it comes to that. Now, Wesley, we've talked about the other kids. Wesley, not much a lot. He's 12. There's not a lot going on with him. He plays video games. He's very much into video games, and that's about it. He likes to dye his hair like blue and orange and shit for fun sometimes. Yeah. Everybody said he's the jokester of the family. He's the he's the guy always with one-liners and making jokes. Old Wes. Wesley and William share a room together, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, they have to share a room together, and so there's the two sides of the room. Wes has teddy bears and baseball and football cards, and then William has, CDs with his computer games on it and big stereo speakers and shit like that. So you can tell who's on which side. They also have a dog named Mija, M-E-H-A, Mija.
Mija, yeah.
Mija, yeah, M-E-H-A.
Daughter in Spanish.
I didn't know how you spell that.
But
that's not Mija. That's not H-A, is it in Spanish?
M-I-H-A, yeah. Oh, M-I-J-A.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is M-E-H-A. This is a completely different word. It's a four-letter word with two of the letters being different. I don't think that's the same word.
It's got to be the same thing, though, right?
I don't know. Maybe unless
unless it's forward-thinking of Mia.
You never know. So they have the dog. They live at 2228 Marble Valley Basin Road, which is actually 8 miles northwest of Addy proper. So it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'll post the picture. It is in the middle of nowhere. Around the time Wesley was born is when they bought 3 acres on Marble Valley Road, and Rob, with some family help every now and then, Lamb Ham came over. The guys
and the older brother.
Yeah, they just jammed. They just did they just rocked out like some fucking Metallica and it just came together. The house built itself. It was really cool. Yeah. So no, they built it actually. They never borrowed money for construction. They just built it as they could. And finally in 1992, so 4 years or so of this, they left their rental house in Colville and moved into their new house that Rob built with his own hands.
Unreal.
Can you imagine building a house? If me and you built a house with our own hands.
I assure you we could do it. It would be it wouldn't
be a house.
Dude, it would be so much fun for people to watch us swear and be furious while we're doing it.
How little would you trust that structure, though? You tell people, don't go in there. Good God, don't go inside.
We'd be in a lot of trouble.
Christ.
We could do it.
You have children. Don't go in there. My God. We could do it.
I didn't say it'd be up to code.
No. There's an old son Seinfeld once. He goes, we could what's a log cabin? We could build a cabin. He goes, well, maybe not us, but 2 men could. That's where we're at.
I assure you we could do it.
It's a 2-story, 3-bedroom home.
2 stories? You gotta trust it's got to be load-bearing? No.
I was going to say.
I'm not doing that.
No, our shit would be the floor would be laying on top of dirt because we would not trust anything. And you'd be like, that roof's not sturdy. Be careful.
I'm not building stairs. Jesus.
Oh, no. This is an actual thing here. It's a wood-heated home, so it's got wood stoves in the basement that do the whole deal
I'm not
there.
Doing that either. Got to make sure it's fireproof.
You got to make sure also, you got to make sure to keep loading firewood, or else your house is going to get real cold real fast. So, yeah, he built all of this. It's got a brown metal roof, wood heat, It's got no siding on it. It's kind of unfinished still, though. Okay. It's got no siding on it. That's not really important to him, I guess. So then Clint, at this point, by the way, Clint doesn't live at home anymore. He's 24 years old. He abandoned the religion at 15.
Okay.
He was done at 15 when he moved in with his girlfriend at that point.
He said, found Jesus somewhere else.
I'm done. I'm out. Yeah. I've looked into Jesus' eyes, and it's wonderful. And I'm going to go find some 16-year-old chick that I'm with here.
Yeah.
He continued to work for his dad, though, and with his dad, because his dad's not in the religion either, so he isn't. He's like, hey, I feel you, you know? So, and it's weird, too. In his mother and father's families, Clint's mother, Diane and Rob's families, Kids leave home early. So she got married when she was 15. Her sister got married when she was 17. His uncle dropped out of school and was a welder as a teenage welder. Faye left home and got married at 16. It's just, they go.
This is amazing.
Faye says, quote, "We weren't insecure people. We knew we could make it out there. We went out there and got work and got married." Jesus, That sounds like a tough upbringing. So during the 1990s, that's when Rob built his logging business called Lembeck Family Logging. Mm-hmm. And he grew up, like I said, working. His Peggy Lembeck said, quote, "When he grew up working at the mill, all the men were decent and honorable." This is what his mother says. He wanted that for his family and his kids and his younger brothers. He was trying to get them in on his dream. His dream was to be a rock star, so I don't know. At 12, Clint was already driving trucks in the woods for him.
Yeah.
Like driving logging trucks.
Moving the wood.
A few years later, he was working a huge machine called a Hahn, H-A-H-N. It's some sort of it picks up felled trees, trims their branches, and cuts them to fit on the log. So it's like that big thing that they put a whole tree through, and it
God,
and comes out a fucking log that they put on the truck. He's operating that machine as a teenager, 15 years old. That's what he's doing, Clint. So,
the thing that just has the clamp, it picks up the log and what the fuck,
sucks it through. Yeah, the most dangerous machine maybe known to man.
You get anything sucked in there, it's over for you.
Yeah, the only more dangerous job would be walking on scaffolding above a big smelting vat or something in one of those, like a movie factory, like in an action movie. That's the only more dangerous job. Otherwise, it's this. So Clint said, "He taught me how to be one of the best. I'm a machine operator. I have a natural ability with machines. If it uses diesel, I can run it."
Wow.
So he said that's what he does. So he got right in there. He got two of his brothers, Rob had two of his brothers, a cousin, his son, and his sister Faye, and a bunch of other family members all working for his business. Mm-hmm. 1 year, his company made $1 million. He was very excited about that. So Faye said, but we all had our lives and different ideas of what we wanted to do with them. So not everybody wanted to be loggers. So they kind of drifted away from the business. And Rob would mainly, by 2000, he's either working alone or with his cousin Keith, who everyone has a cousin Keith who needs a job. So he's doing that. He's hauling logs. He's making real good money, though, when he does it. He's wants to retire in the next year. His younger brother, Sam, said he was in a position where he might have had to work only a few days a month after that. He was going to be fine. So
what a dream.
This brings us to December 23rd, 2000 here.
2 days before Christmas.
2 days before Christmas, which doesn't matter in this house, as we've said.
Right. Now, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. Now, around this time, Diana was trying to... One of the main things she was doing was making quilts and family photo albums with decorative cloth covers that she would stitch. Okay. That's what she's doing now. That's her big thing. So she goes upstairs to Jolene's room and crafts some shit here. So they would she'd give them as gifts to people, these big family photo albums and quilts and shit, which, hey, I'll take a homemade quilt.
Oh, boy. They're so good.
Hit me up. Yeah, that's good shit.
They're heavy and so nice.
Rob's brother Sam said those photo albums were so tenderly put together, just going through them was like getting a hug from her. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. So that's how nice they were, I guess, because normally people would be like, oh, great, they gave us a photo album. Must be really nice to go out of your way. She would get upstairs by scooting on her ass step by step.
Oh, God, because of the MS.
That's heartbreaking. Sometimes when she was too tired and beat, because the MS also takes the energy out of you.
Yeah.
Her kids would haul her around the house in a sleeping bag. they'd put her in a sleeping bag, and like she was getting rescued from a mountain. They would fucking carry her around, slide her along the floor.
Wheel in that house when he built it and unveiled it to her and smack him square in the face. Fucking stairs?
2 stories? Really?
You son of a bitch. Where's the bedroom? Up there?
Gonna have a raised ranch, eh? No? All right, well, thanks. Thanks. No, thanks. This is great. Like, well, you didn't have it when I started drawing the plans. I don't know, shit. So that's what they would do. Jolene would be the one who stepped up, and the worse Diana's health would get, the more Jolene would pick up around the house. She'd take care of her mom. Family members say Jolene is a saint. That's what they would say all the time. She, like I said, honor roll student, tennis player, member of the school choir, and has a part-time job at Colville Espresso stand, and also she has a boyfriend. So... she could not have more shit going on in her life. She has no time, but she still finds time. She is going to be the first of the kids to graduate, because Clint was working in the forest since he was young. And the family was planning a huge party in the spring, and it's going to be a huge deal. She's saving money for a car, and she's talking about marriage as well. So she bought him a Christmas present, by the way. Her boyfriend.
Oh, shit. Dylan
he's not a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. And they think it was probably the first Christmas present she's ever bought in her life. So
amazing.
She was excited about that because things have loosened up this year for some reason. I don't know what's up with Diana, but that night on the 23rd, she made a big turkey dinner with all the fixings, which is now what they would do is they cheated a little bit. Their wedding anniversary is December 15th. Yeah. So they would have a big feast that night. Yeah. It's Christmas. They'd have Christmas dinner and do presents and shit, but it would be on their wedding anniversary. So it would they just pretend that they were celebrating that to not get in trouble with God or whatever. So I don't know. Pam Ham said, I always made that their Christmas, sending gifts for each kid. It would be so close to Christmas. I know they were waiting for that package every year because they got no Christmas presents otherwise. Right. So during this year, people said she seemed to have kind of changed her view toward the holidays a little bit, because that Thanksgiving, out of nowhere, the family attended Thanksgiving at Faye's house. For the first time in 20 years, they've been to Thanksgiving, and they just said, we're coming this year. So they were like...
Yeah, Dylan's having one. We're going to come see it.
Yeah, and then on the 23rd, December 23rd, Diana spoke on the phone with Pam Ham, her sister, and she was talking about celebrating Christmas.
It's all changed.
She was telling her sister, she said, you know what? She said she was just tired. She said, quote, I can't see what's wrong with Christmas. It's just family getting together, giving gifts. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That's people going with Jim Jones. I don't understand why I can't be in the same house with my wife. I don't understand why my kids have to be. It's just weird. Why are we doing this? Yeah. This makes no sense.
We've seen Dylan's family. They're celebrating some shit, and it doesn't seem like anything's wrong. There's a lot of smiles and hugs and love and happiness.
They seem, close together as a family and bonding, and that seems like a good idea. So Pam was really excited to hear Diana talk that way because they wanted to celebrate together. Yeah. So she wanted her to be there. Pam and her sister were always on the phone together talking. They had nicknames for each other. Diana was Rosanna Hannah, which is like Rosanna Dana, I guess.
Yeah. Like
that was her nickname. And Pam, she called her Ethel because I think that's a Lucy and Ethel reference. So
I like that. They like TV.
They like TV. That's what I was just going to say. They have comedy references at each other's
and a couple
things.
of great ones.
Yeah, Gilda Radner and fucking Vivian Vance. Perfect.
Not
I love
bad.
it. Good shit. So anyway, as Diana got, more ill, Pam would try to make these phone calls upbeat and let's make them happy and that sort of shit here. Pam called her on the 23rd at 9 p.m., woke her up. Yeah. Diana was already asleep. Diana said it was telling her it was a kind of a rough night. She made a whole big turkey dinner, but then her and Rob got in a big fight.
Oh, no.
That's all she would say. She wouldn't get into the details, but she said they had a big fight. She left the dinner and just went to bed because she was too tired to fight over it. And so she didn't even eat the whole dinner. She just didn't care about it. So anyway, Pam didn't know what the fight was about, but they would argue back and forth sometimes. Pam tried not to pry. She said whatever she wants to tell me is fine. She thinks they disagreed about the kids' discipline mainly. Rob was laid back and Diana wanted structure and all that sort of thing. So, a lot of people argue that way. That day, though, the argument was more than likely about William, as we'll talk about. So Let's fast forward 6 days to December 29th, 2000.
Yeah.
Okay. Clint isn't there. Clint calls and wants to talk to the parents. You know, what's going on? Where's Dad? No one's seen Dad or Mom or anybody in 6 days.
Okay.
But it's over the holidays. Everybody else celebrates holidays. They don't. So they're kind of used to them not being around for a few days. And then they kind of catch up after the holidays.
Kind of get a nice vacation between the 25th and the 1st. There's not a lot of work happening anyway.
Yeah, nothing's happening. So it's cold up there. So William tells Clint, they're not here. They went to California to visit a sick relative.
Oh.
So Clint's like, okay. Then Clint asks other relatives, do we know anyone in California? Do we have family in California that's sick? And everyone's like, not that I know of. I don't even know if we have family in California. I have no idea. That's super weird. So then Diana's brother, Andy Davenport, he shares a driveway with them.
Yeah.
So his house is right next door. So he shares a driveway. He hadn't heard from them either. Uh-huh. And he said, hey, where is everybody? I haven't seen anybody. And William said, oh, they went to California, but all their cars were still there, all of them.
Yeah.
So like, well, that's weird. That's very strange.
They walk?
Yeah, really strange. And Andy and Clint had both come over to the house, and one thing they saw that was really weird was they saw Diana's purse, which was odd. They were like, she went to California without her purse? That's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
So both Andy and a neighbor end up calling the police and saying, you go check on them, just do a welfare check here.
I don't trust Willie.
It's just something's going on here. So a neighbor here, this is a local waitress, she says that she noticed the family hadn't been around for a few days. She saw that the family's horse had gotten loose, and she tried to call them and couldn't get a hold of them. She said, I'd see the lights on, I'd call, and nobody would answer the phone. So what's up with that shit? Then she said she called the sheriff's office asking them to contact the Lembecks regarding the horse. Just tell them their horse is out. And she said, that's the last I heard about it till today when I saw all the police cars.
Oh, boy.
So this is what happened here. The deputies, bunch of deputies, two in particular, Paul Murray and Deputy Dwayne Johnson.
Fantastic.
So Paul Murray shows up with the rock. They walk through the fucking door. Everybody's very intimidated.
Yeah.
They're doing a welfare check here. It's late night, early morning type, into the next day of December 30th. And they arrive at the home. While the deputies pull up in the driveway, William is trying to back out of the driveway in his pickup truck. Okay. The deputy pulled into the driveway, parked his car, and then the other, the rock pulls in behind him. They're two separate cars, and they kind of block him in there, basically. Okay. So, because they're parked behind him. William had 3 people in the car with him. He had 3 friends with him in the pickup truck. So the deputy told him they were concerned about his family and where they were. He said, I don't know where they were, but if you want to go look for them in the house, go ahead, knock yourself out. I'm hanging out trying to finger this chick, so I don't know what you're doing. Right. Yeah. So one of the deputies said, can we look in the bedroom of your parents' bedroom? And he said, I don't give a shit. Go look wherever you want. So he goes in the bedroom, finds Rob's wallet and Diana's purse. And their identification is in there and everything.
You don't go to California without that.
You generally don't leave without your ID in the modern times. So, they're like, all right, that's weird. All the family vehicles are there. All the wallets and purses are there. Jolene's purse is there as well.
Really?
Really strange, yeah. So they're like, this is fucking odd. And the closer they look, one of the cops is outside, and, a couple of them are inside. The cop outside notices some blood spots in the snow outside. Thing about snow, it's white, so when blood's in it, it really pops. It's a,
boy, does it. Yeah.
It's really... like Ric Flair's hair in an 80s wrestling match. When he bled, you were like, wow, look at that.
That's a lot of blood.
That stands out, boy. So they notice that. Then the Rock is down the hallway here, old Deputy Dwayne Johnson. He noticed what looked like blood on the hot water tank and on the washing machine. Okay, then he looks around a little more and notices more blood stains. Notices that there is, like, on the wall, like, you can see what looks like blood, but there's, like, fresh paint over it.
What?
Like someone put one layer of fresh paint over a bloody wall. Like you could see it coming through the wall.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Then he starts seeing, what is that? What are these little bits of things? Little bits of flesh are all over the place. What he determines to be little bits of like dried flesh are everywhere.
Oh, my.
So he's like, okay, this is, then looks around more, sees some blood on floors in places and crevices, and he's
what has Dwayne seen that he can recognize fucking flesh on sight? I can't, if there was, you know what I mean? I could recognize blood, sure, but if I'm not going to be able to determine.
If you're a cop and you've ever been to a scene of somebody blowing their brains out all over a fucking wall, you can identify bits of flesh.
Yeah, I got to assume this place is probably pretty bleak that somebody's probably done that.
Yeah, there's a couple people opening up a fucking sunroof, I'm sure, in this town. There's no doubt about it. I'm positive. Popping a homemade sunroof up there. Yeah. So they notice that, and they tell him, hey, what's up with there's blood? Is that flesh? Yeah. They said, quote, this is from the police report, William started sobbing and shaking and putting his hands over his face. That's a bad sign.
That's
when you
not
say,
good at all.
Are these chunks of flesh? And someone goes, oh, God. You're like, wow, something bad has happened here. Then they said, quote, William Lembeck admitted the shooting deaths of his father, mother, brother, and sister in the family residence. He admitted taking the bodies 2 miles away in his father's truck to a roadside ditch.
That was easy.
Okay. Yeah, he just spilled it. I did it. Oh, God. Yeah. It gets way weirder. Don't worry. You got it. By the way, you got to stick around for why, because the why is the crazy part. So he admits all this shit. He admitted taking the bodies, admitted doing all this shit. They said the house looked like he's been just staying there for a week, just hanging out. They said the house was torn apart. It looked fucking torn apart, ransacked. Really? The Robert's brother Sam said it was like someone had ripped it off its foundation, shaken it upside down, then slammed it back down.
They boggled it.
That's what the house looked like. He did. That's what that's what William did. So they were like, whoa, he just admitted to quadruple murder without being Mirandized. That's not good.
Yeah.
So they said, hey, you want to sign this form, please? And they read him his rights and everything. He did not ask for a lawyer, and he consented to further search after that as well. Now, upon further investigation, The Rock sees blood on a light fixture and as well, and then sees flesh on a kitchen ornament. So they're finding it in other places too. They're like, there's more flesh and more blood all over the
house. Yeah,
it's obvious someone has tried to clean it up. There's not just splatters. I mean, they painted over a goddamn over a wall. So the deputies decide, let's go talk to who's in the pickup truck with him and see what the fuck's going on, and see if this is like some kind of murder crew or something. We don't know what's going on. So it's just some dipshit kids in there, and when they go in to talk to him, they saw blood in the bed of the pickup truck.
Jesus. And those kids didn't see it?
No, apparently not. Around those parts, too, people probably have blood in the beds of their pickup trucks. Yeah. They hit a moose and threw it back there. I don't know what the fuck happened. So either way, they go back in. They stop searching the home at that point. They're going to get a warrant for the detailed search, but they arrest William. They figure sobbing, telling you he shot 4 people is probably good enough to do this. So they interview him. They bring him home. They bring him to the station. They're going to interview him. And they said right away, he said, I dumped them northwest of Addy off Naff Road. That's where you can find them. They go there. It's about 2 miles from their home. Okay. They're buried in a snowbank. He buried them in a snowbank. No. So when the snow melted, there's going to be 4 bodies there. Like, that's not the forethought there is awful. That's
a terrible grave.
Yeah, I'm going to get away with this for a few days is what that says. Like, that's a terrible.
Yeah, they're going to be preserved very well in that snow, too. And then when the snow melts, then they'll start decaying. That's fucked up, man.
It's fucking disgusting. Now, they're all just laying there except for Jolene. Jolene has a towel over her face. No one else does. She has a towel over her face and is naked from the waist down.
Oh, no.
Okay, which is really weird. He tells them that, I don't know, she had pants on when I buried her.
Okay.
So someone came, dug her up, took her pants off, and then recovered her with fucking... Right. Which not the funny thing, it's disgusting, but if you read anything about serial killers and especially sexually motivated ones at all, most of the time, a lot of them, they will cover the victim's face afterwards.
Yeah, there's shame in it. Yeah.
It's a thing that they do, a lot of them. So either way, they said, well, what the fuck happened? And he said that he and his father got in an argument because I didn't want to bring firewood in the house. That's what he said. Dad said bring firewood in, and I said no.
And I killed everybody?
Everybody. Every last motherfucker in that house. That's
over
what he
a few
said.
Sticks of spruce?
Said, quote, this is from the report. The defendant told the officers his dad was mad at him for not helping get firewood, and then the defendant got mad. When his dad went into the shower, he loaded the guns. That's what he said. He loaded 2 rifles while his dad was in the shower. He loaded a .22 and a .308.
Yeah.
Which is a
hunter.
That's a big fucking rifle. If you live in that area, you keep that for grizzly bears. That's what you keep that for, in case there's a grizzly bear at your house that was,
it's
attacking your kid.
Great deer hunting rifle.
I'm sure, but I mean that's a big gun, is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's not for fucking squirrels,
No, it's a bolt action. The round it fires is big.
It'll take down a big mammal.
Yeah,
So they say. He says he shot his father first as he came out of the shower and into the bedroom. He was waiting for him in the bedroom, shot his father in the face.
Oh, boy.
In the face. His father fell down the other direction, and he shot him 2 more times in the head with the .22.
Wow.
3 shots in the head with the .22. So his mother and his older sister and his little brother were in the kitchen and living room, which is a small little area.
They heard it, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So he came in there, and he found his mom next, and he shot her 3 times in the head. And another 4 times in the body.
Wow.
He shot his mom 7 times. In the upper right extremities, it said. Shot twice in the head, once in the back, and hands, arms, all sorts of other places as well. He then moves over, and he finds Wesley. Wesley is shot once in the head at close range while he's in the living room floor, okay, after that. And Jolene is shot multiple times as well in the head. So, this is, he says also, they said, well, firewood? He said also that his father was, quote, threatening to kick him out and send me back to Martin Hall, to juvenile hall. That's what he said.
But the lash out is certainly angrier at mom and angrier at Jolene.
Yep. There you go. And dad 3 times.
Yeah, but Dad only got 3.
But Dad, once one was in the face though, because he caught Dad completely by surprise.
Yeah, probably.
Dad's the threat you got to take out. Okay, got to take that threat out, kill him. Mom got it big time.
Yeah,
Jolene got a little. Wesley has no beef with. Right. One shot, back of the head, clean, done. That's it. So he says, quote, I got mad, and when he went in the shower, I loaded the guns. He said that he shot his father after he shot him in the back of the head. He said his mother, quote, just couldn't say anything. Scared, I guess. You think?
Yeah. She's got MS. Maybe? She can't fight back.
She can't run away.
Right.
How you're fucking trapped. That's
People
terrifying.
Drag her around in a sleeping bag and push her around in a wheelchair, you fucking jerk.
He said his brother and sister were also scared, and they tried to hide on the living room floor. I guess tried to hide under something. I mean, Jesus Christ. He said then he loaded the bodies into his dad's pickup truck and dumped them along about 2 miles from the house. He came home, tried to mop up the blood, paint over the bloody walls in the kitchen, clean up the scene.
Literally bled through.
Yeah, that's it. Clean up the scene as best he can. He claimed that he shot his dad because his dad was going to kick him out. He only shot the other 3 because they were witnesses, so, had to take them out. Diane, by the way, was shot with the .22 a whole bunch, but also shot with the .308 once in the head. Whoa. The .308 was only fired once, and it was at Diane's head.
Unbelievable.
Everybody else got the .22. Robert 3 times in the head, Jolene twice in the head, once in the back, Wesley once in the head with the .22. Those were all .22s. And, he said, Jesus Christ, man. So Robert and Wesley both suffered contact wounds, meaning it was right up against them. Fuck, man. Yeah, Diane shot 2 different rifles, 4 times in the right arm, shoulder, and hands, and 3 times in the head as she was trying to ward off what was going on here. When asked why he shot his mother, sister, and brother, quote, the defendant stated he didn't know, then agreed he shot them because they were witnesses. He didn't want to say, and then they were like, is it because they're witnesses? And he was like, yeah, that's why, because they're witnesses.
That sounds good.
Because we'll find out why. They said that they figured Wesley was the only person in the family that he, quote, had no reason to be angry with, and that's what he said as well. Mm-hmm. And that's why he was only killed with one shot. He told them all about his trying to cover up the crime and making up the story about the sick uncle in California and and all that shit. So they kept pressing him for more of an explanation. Firewood just doesn't seem like enough.
This doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
I'm sure you've probably been yelled at for more than that. You know what I mean? So, hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmy's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah. They're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
He says that they include, quote, not being able to go anywhere, my dad being mean.
Dog, you're 14.
16.
Either
way. You live at home.
These are the normal gripes.
And working all the time with my dad. Well, your dad owns a small business, so that's what you do. I know plenty of people who own restaurants. Their kids worked there when they were 9. It's just what it is. It's you pitch in. He says, quote, I have to do a lot of stuff for my mom and my sister's never home. Okay. Honor student, tennis, choir, job, boyfriend.
She's busy, man. Yeah.
Eating Twinkies, sitting on your fat ass playing your computer game. That's what you're doing. So maybe that's why you have to help more, because your sister's got other shit going on that's important in her life. So
past 7th grade.
She passed 7th grade. They continue to ask about, why doesn't your sister have pants on?
Right.
He insisted she was fully clothed when I put her there. I'm telling you. Even though the bodies have not been disturbed at all in the snow. Right. So his friends, one of them, Jesse Henderson, he said that William seemed a different person the week after this happened, week after the 23rd. They said that he told everybody that his family went away to visit a sick relative. This guy spent most of the week with William, this Jesse Henderson. And, he said that they last summer when they hung out, he ate and slept a lot, but ate and slept little now. He was kind of sitting there. He said that William seemed to daydream a lot with his mouth hanging open.
That's because that kid's saying some shit.
Yeah, he's horrified still with his own fucking actions. He's disgusting at this point. So other friends said he seemed like his usual self. He said his cousin ran into him, a 15-year-old cousin ran into him, and everybody was fine. Nothing big there. He gave his other cousin a ride somewhere, and that was it. He did say they went into the house to look for stakes and the family video recorder, is what his cousin said. Mm-hmm. They said that William told them that he wanted to pawn the camera. So Lynn said, quote, Lynn Lembeck said, somehow we got talking about Robert Yates, the Spokane serial killer.
Jesus.
William Lembeck told them, quote, Willie said, I'm a serial killer too.
Oh, boy.
And they all laughed because they didn't think that. So that was about the end of that conversation. So the reaction here to everybody, obviously, the town freaks the fuck. There's 100 people here. This gets around real fast. Faye said, quote, had the Jehovah's Witnesses not been at the core of their beliefs, I believe he could have pulled himself through any problems he was having. He would have had outlets, but he was cornered. To do something like that, you have to think you have no way out. But even with the problems, there was no real red flags that made you say, watch this kid, he could be trouble. That's what Faye said, his aunt. The people were just like, what the fuck? Here's one of the neighbors said, you think, how could he kill 4 people? 4 people! With exclamation point. She was horrified, and obviously, and they even said, too, like a lot of the residents that they were talking to said they didn't even know a lot about them. They barely knew they existed. They kind of kept to themselves.
They're not around when we're out.
Yeah, they're not doing anything. The big Christmas party, they're never there. Another neighbor here, Early Humbert is his name. Early. Yeah. He said, it's a shock to me. Everybody kind of keeps to themselves up here pretty much. They were just quiet people. I don't think they visited around the neighborhood much. Yeah, but everybody's talking about it, but nobody here can think of who they are, one of the waitresses said in one of the towns.
Everybody says something about them, but I'm like, who?
Who? One woman, Gladys Goldies, she didn't know the family, but she attended the memorial for them and said, you have to feel sorry for that poor boy in jail. A lot of people don't, but I bet he's suffering.
That's a bizarre thing to do, right?
Really weird thing to go see. Go to a memorial for a dead child and his entire family and go, I bet that poor boy feels bad too.
Why would you go?
That's so weird. Yeah, it's because it's boring. There's nothing to do there. It's Addy. So
head on down to the memorial for the murdered family.
That murdered family of strangers. I guess I'll just go see them.
Wow.
Clint said the feelings haven't really kicked in yet. It doesn't seem like reality to me. That's the brother Clint. Yeah. He says that he's been comforted by relatives as he's been trying to, prepare funerals for 3 people. This whole fit to try to bury his entire family.
He literally lost his whole family. One's going to go to jail forever, and the others are gone.
Yep. He said he and his dad were like best friends, worked with him a lot. Clint said he's only been to the house a few times since the shootings. And he said he's not going back, though, because on one visit, he felt his father sent him a message to stay away. Yeah, he said as he was about to cross the threshold, he felt something push him hard on the chest. He said his father had always met him at the door, and now he felt a powerful force shoving him back from it. He said he staggered backwards down the stairs, clutching the handrail, and hasn't tried to enter the house since.
Oh, that's creepy.
That's creepy. He felt a force, and he doesn't like it. He does say, whatever happened in that house was not part of the family that I remember, and he says that he's going to have the place demolished and the ruins of it hauled away. Done.
Holy shit.
He's having it raised and the shit taken away. I don't want any part of it anymore.
I want the foundation pulled.
Yeah, I'm planting a fucking vegetable garden over the site, and it's done. So that's wild. Yeah, it's his whole family wiped out. Yeah. He wants no part of it anymore. Now, a former teacher of his said that, quote, he did some juveniles type stuff, but didn't exhibit any of the type of anger that would lead to something like this. This just shocked me. Whatever was going on in his head or in the family, I sure didn't see any of that in school. By the way, we still don't know why he did it, and I do, and I'll tell you in a minute, because it's so weird. So the sheriff here, Craig Thayer, said it's a tragic domestic violence situation. It's not an easy situation for any community to deal with. Now, what really happened?
Okay. Speculation, and I hate it.
Jolene told her boyfriend Dylan that they had found, or she had found, on the family video camera on December 21st. On the family's new video camera that they got, she had found a tape. The tape was William had secretly videotaped her getting undressed and showering.
Yep. Oh, no.
Okay, then it gets worse. That's the first part of it. First, there's all family shit. I'll describe the tape. First, there's all family shit going on. And the way William does it is he makes her think that he turned it off and all this shit.
Right.
Then on the tape is her getting undressed, taking a shower. Then the next scene is William watching the tape on TV and jerking off to it.
Oh, my God. He
recorded himself jerking off to the recording he made of his sister taking a shower.
Oh, dear Christ.
I don't even know where to start.
How do you do? That's so meta.
That's what I said. It's exactly what I thought. It's so fucking meta, dude.
That's so weird.
And if you look close in the TV, there's another kid jerking off, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another girl in the shower. It just goes on forever, man. It's smaller and smaller.
Does he watch that then after that? Do you know what I mean? And then film
then Then is he going to watch himself watching jerking off and his sister taking a shower? He's going to go as deep as he can.
God,
maybe he was seeing how deep of a chain he could go, but that is fucking wrong. Now, you have a 2-year-old older than your sister. Did you ever look at her as a sexual object that you wanted to see naked, right? No.
Never. That's so gross.
I don't have any sisters, but to me, I'm like, ew, why would you want to see your sister naked? And then I was like, okay, Jimmy's got a sister, same age difference. When he was 16, God. I'm sure Jimmy's dick was as hard as anybody.
Yeah.
Would you resort to this? No,
that is
right?
Horrifying.
Especially he has the internet. He can get porn.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're going to watch your sister take a shower?
Man.
That's not. And then jerk off to it?
We had a small house, dude. If I ever saw my sister naked, I would never want to jerk off ever again.
No. And it's not even like he was like doing it and then he was going to like blackmail her with it. Right. Like, if you don't give me money or I'll tell you. He
likes it.
He just did it to whack to.
Oh,
this is just his tugging material.
And she found it.
And she found it on there and said, holy shit. So then she showed her parents the video, which had to be uncomfortable. Like, here's me all nude, guys, and here's me in the shower. And then here's William whacking his fucking cock to me over here. So
holy shit.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. She told her boyfriend about it. She erased the video after showing it to her parents, though. And that's what the boyfriend said, and he didn't know if there was a duplicate or anything like that, but that was the whole thing that happened here.
Billy's got some more.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I think this isn't the only. Well, it's brand new, the video camera. Otherwise, he'd have a library. Because in 2 days, the first thing he decided to find was, I'm going to videotape my sister naked and whack to it.
That's
the
crazy.
First thing he did with the camera. The very first thing. How can I come to this camera in some way? God, 16-year-old.
That's why
disgusting.
Yeah, that's why we should never have video.
That is terrible. So, so she, I guess, had returned. This happened on the 21st. Yeah. She was so upset that she even slept at her friend's house, because the next day she went to work and was so pissed off she slept at her boyfriend's house even. She didn't even want to be in the house. Yeah. And then the 23rd, she went to work and then came home. And that was the first time like William had seen her, because that happened the one night. The parents confronted him on the 22nd, had a big blow up over it, obviously. You're jerking off to your sister and secretly videotaping her is a weird conversation you don't think you're ever going to have with your kid.
He literally had no time to like contemplate how to, his first thought when he grabbed that camera was, where's Jolene?
Where's Jolene and her tits? Because I am going to fucking whack to it. This is wild. It's disgusting. So, that's what he said. That's what was going on there. And then they yelled at her. They yelled at him on the 22nd, but she was gone. Jolene comes home on the 23rd. Everybody's finally home for the first time since this has all been discovered. And he kills everybody, I guess, out of this.
My.
Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, he did all of this shit. Like we said, the officers, arrive. But the videotape, I'll describe it here, because they end up finding another tape here, where, and this isn't the one where Jolene is naked, but it's one where he tried to get her naked. Here we go. It's William and his family laughing and joking and talking. They're dicking around in front of the camera. That was before every phone had a video camera, so it was still a big deal when someone broke out a video camera.
Right.
You'd ham it up and people would do things. Now you're like, stop fucking recording, because anybody can record at any time.
Yeah,
you're fucking 8 cameras on the outside of your house. Back then, if someone took out a camcorder, you were like, oh, hey, camcorder, hey, what are we doing? Let's do this. Hey, look at my ass. Check that out. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Grab a beer. Cheers. Yay.
It's fun. I was watching Sopranos the other day, and when they go in to put a bug in his basement, I'm like, oh, he would know in 2 seconds that these fuckers are at his house.
Forget about it. Cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
He's zooming in on people's faces. Simply Safe would be sending police force over there. They'd catch the FBI planting bugs.
Never happen ever again.
If only Tony Soprano had Simply Safe. They are a sponsor, but it is really good. So there you go. And I just used that in place of camera. So anyway,
it wouldn't have mattered if he had a broken water heater or not.
No. So they look totally normal. They're all talking and joking around, farting around, doing their deal. We're hanging out. Jolene walks through the living room. She's got a scooter at one point, and she's like on a scooter, and she's kind of scoots through in front of the camera. She's talking to Wesley, who's playing with toy cars. Everybody's real happy. You know what I mean? Just looking around, and they're passing the camera around too, like taking turns with it and shit like that. This was from December 17th. Also, they have another one where William and his friends are in there, and then more footage comes in of the family. The final scene in the videotape is shot from the corner of Jolene's bedroom. This is how he did it. She, William, and Wesley wander in and out of the room, and nobody seems to pay attention to the camera, like it's hidden or something. Jolene seems tired, and William's like, well, why don't you go to bed? You should just go to bed.
Go lay down.
So then when she and Wesley are both out of the room, William then makes like a quick move over to the camera, and he bumps something that jostles the camera and apparently turns it off. But the camera also remains in the same position and records. Then a second later, it comes back, like he turned it back on again, and it just records an empty room for several minutes after that. Yeah. And then it's turned off. So he was trying to get her. That was the first attempt at it, and then he didn't get it till the next day. So the literal first fucking thing he did was that. Wow. And he eventually got it to work. But he had a whole plan to get his sister changing, getting naked and getting in the shower. So that's a C's tape as well, and that was apparently the same angle that it was supposedly at. The other one. By the way, he finally admits that after he killed his entire family, shot his mother multiple times and everybody, and dumped them on the side of the fucking road, before he buried his sister, he raped her corpse.
Oh my! After he took her
in the snow.
Oh my God!
He raped her corpse, and then he put a towel over her face and buried her in the snow.
Long since dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Been dead a minute.
That is heavy.
Yeah, that is. We don't get that a lot.
No,
we don't get.
Oh man.
We don't get familial necrophilia too often on this show. That's not a...
that's deep.
Yeah, inter-sibling necrophilia does not happen often on the show.
That's deeper than northern Idaho snow. That's what that is.
That's weird. You thought it was weird that he was jerking off and filming himself jerking off and all that whole meta thing.
A very alive sister in the shower.
This is next fucking level. So when he finally admits that to the cops, imagine being those cops in the room walking out going, dude, did you hear that?
I'll never eat again. I'm gonna die of hunger.
Oh my God. So he is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Yep.
Obviously, he's going to be tried as an adult, they say. He is not eligible for the death penalty, though, because he is under 18 years of age. So can't get that yet. He is going to plead insanity.
Wow.
He's going to go...
It's pretty fucking insane.
But his defense, though, here's the thing. If you're going to plead insanity to this, I feel like you have to make the point of the weird sexual shit your centerpiece of it.
Right. You got to frame that.
He denies it all in court and says that it's all about firewood. That's his defense.
Wow.
I'm so crazy. My dad asked me about firewood and I snapped. That's what he's trying to say happened here. So, yeah, the county prosecutor said that the insanity plea wouldn't be surprising, and it doesn't matter to him. He said, quote, "It doesn't change things at all. It's just a little more preparation. We'll be ready to go." He says he's facing life without parole at this point.
Yeah.
So they said he's going to be tried in adult court, and because of his age, he doesn't get the death penalty, but there's that. He's being held in a regional juvenile holding facility at Medical Lake again. So it's probably the same one he was at before that he didn't want to go back to so bad. Family members see the insanity plea as just a legal strategy. Yeah. The poor Clint, Jesus Christ.
I can't imagine. That poor kid.
Whole family wiped out, then you find out why, and you're like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
He said, quote, "It's not going to fly. He wasn't insane." And
the act is insane, not the person.
Yeah, it's a crazy act.
It's an insane A to B.
Yeah, it really is. A to B to, wow, I need to, dude. Porn. You have porn if you need to whack it to images of women, not your sister. For fuck's sake, that's not the one you should want to see naked. You should go, ew, gross. If you do.
So mad at his mom.
Yeah, because she was the one. His father is the laid back one and wasn't so angry. Right. And his mom was the one he was mad at because she was the one coming down on him about the videotape. Killed dad because dad's a threat. Right. That's why we said the conspiracy with Chris Benoit thing is bullshit, because there's all this, they came in and they killed his family and they held him for a day and a half and they murdered him. No, when people come in and wipe out a family, they kill whoever's the most physically threatening first. That's what they do. You get that out of the way.
Yeah.
That's why he shot his dad first, and then his mom is helpless, so then he could have his way with his mom.
Stop this, right.
Exactly. That's what it was. Wesley's not going to jump in. You know what I mean? So the attorney said they want to suppress all the evidence deputies gathered while they searched his house with his permission.
Yeah.
That's what he wants before he was arrested and before they got the warrant. He wants all that suppressed. But the corpses are somewhere else and he knew where they were. So it doesn't matter what, you can suppress all that all you want. So anyway, they also say he voluntarily waived his rights. That's the thing that happens. They said that they should have read him his rights sooner in view of the suspicions they developed while investigating the disappearance, which is probably true. They probably could have done it. As soon as you see one spot of blood, you Mirandize this guy. Yeah. Otherwise, anything you ask him, you are asking him after you have suspicion and you haven't Mirandized him.
Right.
So that's
got blood and a shitload of tissue.
That's not right. Yeah, that's not, you can't do that. But then he's coming in telling you all this type of shit. So, wow. The trial, like I said, pled insanity. Basically, he's going to be found guilty of some shit.
Right.
You know, he's not saying I didn't do anything. It's just of what be found guilty of and how long will he serve.
Sure.
Because apparently, if they get what the defense is going for, he could be out of prison in 16 years.
No,
he could get out in 16 years. That's what the defense is going for.
Oh God, no.
That's second-degree murder. That's what they're going for here. They're saying, "Hey, come on, he didn't plan it."
My God.
He's charged with aggravated first-degree murder, which is way worse.
Heavy, yeah.
That's death penalty if you're over 18. So he, and he's going to get life without if the prosecution gets their way here. The prosecution said that he murdered everybody, quote, because he was tired of authority and because to this defendant, life was cheap.
Wow.
Life was cheap and he was making a deposit.
Boy,
so
hyperbole.
That's just, that's the bullshit opening statements. Yeah. The shrinks that testify here, psychological shit here, psychiatrist is, what's his name, St. Clair. He said that they'll show that he has diminished capacity when he shot his family. That's what they're saying. Diminished capacity, and it would make him legally incapable of premeditation necessary for first-degree murder.
Okay.
So he tells the defense attorney tells the jury, the question you need to keep in mind is which William Lembeck was there. Which one? Now he's schizophrenic all of a sudden. So. Yeah. There are also 2 Eastern State Hospital doctors waiting to testify that William Lembeck is sane and was sane when he killed his parents as well. So we're just going to have conflicting shrinks. And he does later confess to fucking Jesus doing what he did afterwards there. Anyway, jury is selected, everything like that. They have to bring them from another county because there's too much publicity.
Wow.
In here, obviously. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened.
Import a jury?
Oh, man. They said that he loaded the .22 and contemplated the murders while his father was in the shower. When he emerged from the shower, shot him in the face, twice again in the back, and in the head when he fell. Said he fired several more shots at his mother, piercing her hands when she put him up in front of her face in horror. Jolene was shot in the back, was clubbed in the head. He also hit her in the head, by the way, and then was shot twice in the back of the head before he turned his rifle on his younger brother and shot him. They said when the rifle wouldn't fire anymore, Diana Lembeck was still feebly crawling around the kitchen floor, so he loaded the .308 rifle and shot her in the head with that.
Oh, God.
End it. He presented dozens of photographs, the prosecution does, testimony about all the gore they found in the house and chunks of flesh and the whole thing, everything. The defense says they concede, listen, jury, you're going to see some shocking and alarming stuff, he said.
Understatement.
But asked the jury to consider the family dynamics that may have contributed to the disassociated state with depression. That's what she's saying. So it's what we call a functional family, he said, as what the defense attorney said. She told the jury that the mother, quote, Diana wasn't physically abusive, but she had a habit of being verbally abusive. Increasingly so as multiple sclerosis limited her mobility over the last 12 years. She also cited Clint's decision to leave home and move in with his girlfriend when he was 15. See, she's unbearable. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe William could have went and left then. He didn't have to kill everybody. That's the point. Clint Lembeck on the stand acknowledged that his mother sometimes yelled at him, but he blamed his own bad attitude for that. You're not going to get a kid whose whole family's been wiped out to talk shit about his dead, MS-ridden mother. You're just not. I don't care if she used to beat him with a hammer. You're not going to get him to say that now, and I wouldn't either. Who the fuck would? Jesus. He said that he continued to work at his father's logging business till he was 18, and all of his problems with his mother disappeared as he matured and changed his attitude.
You know, like most kids.
Like adulthood, yeah. So the jurors heard a tape recording of him calmly confessing. They played the whole tape to killing everyone in the household. The defense, though, just kept trying to push it back to Diana. At one point, they had one of William's aunts on. They had Patty St. Clair on there. Oh, that is the attorney. Patty St. Clair had one of the sisters on there, Diana's sisters, and she said that Diana could have a temper. But Pam Ham said she did not consider her sister's temper violent at all. So Ham also said that Diana once struck Ham's 7-year-old son in the arm when she believed the boy deliberately kicked her.
Okay.
The kid kicked her. She hit him in the arm. It's her aunt. It's not a stranger at the grocery store.
She's got MS. How about you don't fucking kick your Aunt MS?
Your Aunt MS. Your Aunt Miss. And she didn't hit him in the face.
No.
She hit him in the arm. Like, hey, don't do that.
She did what parents do.
Yeah, that seems normal if you kick. Hey, don't kick. That's not nice. So Diana also.
That old trope. We don't hit, and then you whack the shit out of them.
Yeah, stop that, pow. No, that's not good. That's what we all got. So
yeah.
Diana told Ham that she wished her children hadn't been born at one point. Pam Ham testified, which I don't think there's a parent on earth, as much as you love your kids, who for 1 second has never gone, Jesus Christ, I wish none of these kids were fucking born. Every parent has done that. If they don't, they're lying or they're not the type of person I ever want to be friends with. Because a normal person, when there's that load on you all the time, at some point you go, why the fuck did I do this? At some point you do. Then you calm down and you go, oh, okay, I'm fine. And you love your kids. But
I had a friend level-headed tell me they wish they had an abortion. Kid was standing right next to her.
I'm telling you. It's
like, he's right there.
Kids are hard. That's how hard kids are.
Yeah, because life ain't easy with these fucking monsters.
So she also said that her sister argued a lot with her husband, whom she described as a hard worker, Robert.
Yeah.
Ham said she hadn't seen William since he was in his early teens, but she had heard that he was teased by his siblings and others about his weight. She didn't say where she heard that, but they assume it's from Diana. William wasn't overweight when he was young, but he did have feelings that were easily hurt, she said, even then.
If you can't call your brother fat, who do you get to call fat?
Yeah, you pick on your brother for everything. That's just how it works. So especially if you're close in age.
Yeah.
So they also had follow-up questions and everything like that. Ham said her sister had a lot of frustration from being confined to a wheelchair or a walker and, all that sort of shit. So they play the tape, like I said, for the jury. In it, they hear the words, "I shot my mom." That's not good. More shrink here, action. Psychiatrist says that he thought beforehand, and this psychiatrist said he doesn't believe William thought beforehand before engaging in the act. He thought the problem stemmed from untreated attention deficit disorder and a major depressive episode.
Okay.
But under cross-examination, they asked him, does he have the mental ability to premeditate a murder? And he said that he did. He knew right from wrong. He had no mental disorders. He was just, having a problem. The state doctor said that he had adjustment disorder with depressed mood when they interviewed him, and that's not a legal defense. He's just kind of a bummed-out fat kid. That's not really a... He doesn't like that he has tits. That's not a fact. That's not... You can't kill your whole family for that.
He has tits and his dad makes him do things.
Yeah, exactly. And they bring up, the defense brings up his, quote, ample evidence of dysfunction. Teachers said that he had good native intelligence but trouble concentrating and all that sort of thing. He said that children with untreated attention deficit disorder just give up hope and stop trying. Then when they become teenagers, they often develop eating disorders, poor self-esteem, poor decision-making that gets them in trouble with authorities. Yes, but it doesn't get them to rape your dead sister. That's what it doesn't get you to do. That's all fine and dandy if you're going to be a prick and you're going to be a teenager. But if you're, this is beyond teenager.
Post-familicide.
Yes. He said this disorder is tough for children, and he said, quote, school is the job from hell from which you can't be fired. Jesus Christ.
I mean, you can fire school. You just age out of it. Keep working, and you get out.
It'll happen.
Eventually, you don't have to go anymore.
They said that he was, quote, William was desperately living from day to day, incapable of making good plans to run away, much less to commit murder. That's what they said here. They said he showed self-destructive or at least self-defeating behavior when he made only incompetent or inadequate efforts to cover up a burglary that he did the last summer. So you could tell, because he's a bad criminal, he must just be crazy, or he's just not a good criminal. Doesn't focus. He said that he didn't attempt to clean up the evidence of the shootings until days afterwards, and then only because his friends wanted to come over to the house. So he wanted to have his friends over. He had to do that. He told detectives he used a mop, bleach, and paint to try to clean it all up. And as soon as he got back from dumping the bodies down the hill there, he had his friends over and all that. They said the psychiatrist said that when talking to William, he completely disintegrated into tears. I believe he experienced profound remorse and was paralyzed by what happened that night. But I don't know. He didn't testify and didn't show much emotion in court. And so there's that. Verdict comes in.
Oh boy.
Here we go. It's an hour and a half of deliberation.
That's quick.
Including lunch. They ate lunch in that time, too. They broke for lunch in the middle of that. So it's about an hour of deliberation broken up into 2.5 hours. They find him guilty of aggravated first-degree murder and being super gross. That's an official designation.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. An hour and a half is really short when you throw a lunch break in there.
Super quick, yeah.
They said it was aggravated because there's more than one person killed as part of a common scheme, obviously. They rejected another possible aggravating factor, that some or all of the murders were committed to cover up a crime. They think it was more of just an outburst on the whole house rather than he just wanted to kill one person and killed everyone else to cover it.
Okay.
Even though that's what he said to the cops, because they're trying to lock you into the highest charge possible, which would be that. So, but they didn't buy that. Sentencing, and I don't either. I don't think that's what it was. I think he wanted to kill everybody.
Yeah, everybody knows what I did. I got to get rid of everybody.
Except for Wesley, he's totally innocent, probably doesn't even know what happened.
Right.
One shot for him, poor guy. I think he felt bad. So,
what did he think he was, you know what I mean? Where are you going to go from here?
Yeah. Who are you going to, what
are you going to do now?
My parents never came home from California. I guess it's my house now, and I'm just going to go on with my life and know everyone's cool with that.
They went to the Haight-Ashbury district 20 years too late, and they just love it.
It's crazy. They just couldn't get enough of the beach. It's over. They found a cabin in Big Sur, and they're going to live there. So the sentencing goes on a half hour after the verdict is read, by the way.
Right now. Oh, boy.
They start the sentencing. One of his aunts addressed Pam Ham addressed the court, and he broke down in tears. She said that Diana was her only sister, and there's no possible way to explain the grief and tragedy this has caused me. Then she turned to William, and she said that he failed to appreciate that he had a loving mom and a hardworking dad. She called for him to visit the site of his family house, which, by the way, was demolished before the trial. As soon as he could, Clint had it knocked the fuck down. Yep. As well as his family's gravestone and a separate memorial. She also told him, please waive your right to appeals and not put us through this again. Go away and be put somewhere. We don't want to we'll just pretend this never happened. We wiped the house out. We're just going to burn the pictures. I don't even know. So Ham, who's crying, Pam Ham, said this was the fifth most difficult thing she'd ever written. The first four was when she had to say goodbye to the four people who died.
Wow. And
she said, quote, now I have to say goodbye to you. At that point, William started sobbing openly in court here. And the defense attorney said, I see him emotional every time I visit him in jail. I'm sure he wants his relatives to know that he's sorry, blah, blah, blah. The judge, on the other hand, he doesn't like William at all. William declines to speak, which is bad.
Billy, you better.
Billy boy.
Billy, you better.
Willie.
Yeah.
Willie needed to say something, really fucking throw himself on his sword here. He said that the judge called it, quote, the worst crime in the history of Stevens County, bar none.
Wow.
That's a bad place to start. The judge also asked the question that was never really asked. Why? He said, why did you do this? He said, quote, you're sane. He said, drugs? You weren't using anything like drugs. Nothing like that. I don't understand it. He said, your parents weren't that demanding of you. I don't understand it. He said, what about this video that may not have existed but probably did? That's what That's a great thing that he said there. He also said, could it be the shame of having concocted that kind of video?
Bingo.
Could that be it?
Bingo.
And he's just sitting there, and he said, the judge finally said, you executed your family, you slaughtered them, and probably raped your sister. And you did it in some kind of homicidal rage. Deep inside, son, you're a monster. And you deserve the punishment that a monster should receive. That's to go to the penitentiary for the rest of your life, and I sentence you to it. You, sir, may fuck off, life without parole.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's going to get appealed, right?
Out parole. Well, we'll talk about it in a second here. Clint, by the way, the judge ordered William to use any prison wages he receives to repay Clint $15,000 of the $20,000 bill or to repay for the defense attorneys as well, because he was also supposed to have to make restitution to Clint for burying everybody, but Clint declined restitution for burial costs. He said, I just don't want anything to do with this. I don't want money from him in jail. I just want it.
It's on me. It's over.
Wash my hands.
Yeah.
He's doing like a dealer in Vegas. When he's one of those. Not on me. The judge said, quote, it will give him something to work for the next 20 or 30 years. Until he's 18, he's going to be locked up in the juvenile deal There's about 120 other juvenile offenders who were convicted as adults.
Holy shit.
In this center.
You've got to be one of the kids that's got to be locked up with that fucking guy?
With this fucking guy. I guess under the youthful offender program, he'll receive basic education. Maybe he'll get to the 8th grade.
Yeah.
Until they're 18, then they're going to be put in adult gen pop, and that's all over with. There is an appeal based on collection of evidence is the big deal on the appeal. There's a couple of things, but the main thing is he keeps saying that they should have Mirandized him, and anything they saw before that, and after that should be thrown out. But the problem is he invited them in.
Right.
They didn't like they opened a drawer and saw something. They started seeing flesh and blood. Now, as soon as you saw the first spot of blood, you should have Mirandized him. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But it's not like they Mirandized him a month later.
Right.
His rights weren't violated. They didn't fucking beat him with a phone book.
Yeah.
They said, "Holy shit, there's flesh everywhere." He put his head in his hands and started sobbing. I mean, that's what the fuck, man.
I didn't think you'd see it.
Yeah, they read him his rights. They signed it. He consented to a search. They searched the rest of it, which that tells me that if they would have read him his rights 2 minutes earlier, and he still would have said search it all because he said it then. So it doesn't matter. Right. And then either way, they would have went and got a warrant and they would have searched it. It's not like it wouldn't have been found. It's not fruit of the poisonous tree or any of that shit. It's not any of that. It's not. So that appeal is denied.
Good.
So he is stuck in there. They did sell here, looks like, for $25, serialkillersinc.net. They sell like letters from serial killers and shit like that. There is a letter from him here that it just looks like a letter he wrote to somebody. When is this from? 2011. The thing is from. Hey, the envelope blocks out part of it. Wow, thanks for writing back. What does it say? Something getting mail. I look forward to getting mail, even though something very much. So it sounds like you kind of like something. Do you have a TV in your room?
That sounds amazing.
Was he 12? What is this? Quite a bit of TV, a lot of movies. I don't know what that means. I watch it. Yeah. I watch a lot. Yeah.
I used to watch TV. I made home movies.
I made some movies. Keep up your something. So you said you keep up your something. Only you. I didn't have any real. None of this isn't really anything. Do you keep to yourself? Just something with somebody. Either way, $25. Then I found he had a write a prisoner profile here for a minute. Yes, he's apparently with somebody right now, by the way.
Stop it.
He has had his profile put out by a woman who is the same woman, I believe, who was in a picture like hugging him in his jail uniform.
Oh, my God.
So that is what's going on. He is currently, or I don't know if this is still current, but this was as of last year or 2 years ago. Number 829910 is his number at the Washington State Penitentiary on 13th Avenue in Walla Walla, Washington. Here is his pitch, okay?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, prisoner dating game style. This is the type of thing you might find. I came to prison when I was 16 years old and got juvenile life. I'm putting myself on this pen pal group /site in the hopes of finding some friends and pen pals. Well, yeah, it's a pen pal site. What the fuck? I try to keep busy in here. I crochet, and then in parentheses, a very manly hobby, by the way.
Yeah.
Trying to show he's got a sense of humor. Play guitar, just like Dad.
Yeah.
And train dogs for the Blue Mountain Humane Society's prison dog training program, which he's worked at dog place before. So
let's
that
keep
makes
an eye
sense.
on him with those dogs.
That's the thing but that's what these guys do is then they take pictures with the dogs and they put that in their profile picture and then women go, oh, that's so sweet. How could he be a murderer if he's nice to dogs? And then they're fucking, well, he can't, even though he murdered his whole family, he is nice to dogs, so he can't be all that bad. He must have changed. I'm going to send him $10,000 and hope that when he gets out, we'll have a relationship. Let's call that Love After Lockup show. I'd like cameras to follow me. And then you have disaster. This is not good. I can fix it. This is not good. So he's done that. I've trained a lot of dogs over the years, and yes, I've crocheted a sweater for one of the small dogs. She loved it. He's trying to come off so harmless and gentle. Yeah. Wholesome, harmless, and I didn't rape my dead sister.
Right.
I didn't have fucking incestuous necrophilia with my sister. Absolutely not. That's crazy.
Man.
Wow. So he said it would be, she loved it. I hope you could take the time to write. It would be nice to have a pen pal. Qualities I look for in a friend, not obsessed with their phone or Facebook or whatever people do all day on the phone. Considering
why would that bother you?
Because he's not used to that. He never developed that because when he went in, it was, he probably didn't even have a phone. What are they all doing holding their phones? I don't get it.
Why would that be bothersome to him? You can't even see it, motherfucker.
Right? But to go in in 2000 and then right now you'd be like, whoa, the whole world has changed a lot. He says, just a nice, free-spirited person, okay, they'd have to be free-spirited to answer you, who likes to do fun things and enjoy life. You can write a letter at the address above, or you can email me, blah, blah, blah. So that's it. There's his hobbies and all that. He has a girlfriend at this time, or maybe just at that time. Either way, that, everybody,
holy shit,
is Addy Washington, and one of the more fucked up stories.
I would say.
That I don't even know what to say about that, man. I was like...
Oh, that's so gross.
It's such a... Was it embarrassment? Was he so embarrassed?
That's what it is.
It?
I guarantee you, it's the
so
shame. He had to erase anybody that knew about it, which in turn multiplied the people that know about it.
Yeah, it's true. Everybody now. We're telling hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Do you think... Oh, my God. Do you think that he... Okay, and I'm not blaming Diana, obviously. Do you think that Diana threw any religious shit at him about it? Like, you're going to go to hell for jerking it to your sister or something
probably,
like that? Is that?
Yeah. If she was still balls deep in it, then she probably mentioned it. But either way, everybody in the house knowing about it. No, obviously not. But everybody in the house knowing about it is the problem.
Do you think that contributed to Diana talking to her sister the day of the murder, saying that, what's the difference if we just celebrate Christmas? Jesus Christ, it's just. Do you think that had something to do with it? Like
maybe this will reset and fix everything.
I don't know. Like we're being too weird. Yeah. Maybe that we're so insulated that he thinks that his sister's like a fucking viable piece of ass.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
possible.
Hey, we need to get out and make some friends and see some other people because he is thinking his sister is someone to jerk off to. This is a problem.
Secular life is really causing a problem in my son's fantasies. He thinks that we are a sexual partner. Non-secular. Yeah, that's what it is.
Fuck. So,
we're too far away from everybody.
I don't know if that's what it is or what, but he had friends. I don't get it, man. I just don't understand it. He didn't have as many friends as maybe he might have, but I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's obviously out of our...
but when you take your family and you isolate them into this small town and then isolate it further with a religion that cuts, you know what I mean? You've certainly, and that's not blaming family, but the point is that it certainly will look like that to a kid who doesn't, you know what I mean, who doesn't want that.
Yeah. Well, and too, like he goes to school. They all went to school in Colville, which is up the highway. Even there. Further. It's not. Yeah. Right outside, and he's been being homeschooled. He hasn't been to a school in 2 years or a year and a half or something. So
he's got to feel out of the loop.
Yeah, that's tough. Maybe I don't know what it is. I'm not trying to make an excuse. No. I'm trying to figure out what would make a kid just go from being a happy-go-lucky fat fuck to be like, I'm going to jerk it to my sister, get caught, and then kill everybody. That's just a really extreme jump, and I'm just like, what a fucking asshole you are. So
logically, all of that makes sense. The imposed isolation and then lashing out at all of it. That's got to be it. There doesn't seem to be any other fucking reason.
No. Otherwise, I don't even know what the fuck it could possibly be. I don't think he thought he was getting insurance money or any of that bullshit. Right. None of that. I don't know what it is. But either way, that's it. That's Addy Washington. He's never getting out of prison, and his whole family's dead. So that is a sad fucking story. That said, if you enjoyed it, hey, get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. It helps drive us up the charts. We don't know why. They're not our charts, but it does help drive us up those charts. Also, you can follow us on social media. Find out all the new stuff, when new episodes are up, when new tour dates are announced, when new merch is up, and just some neat stuff. Check that out. We are at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, and at Small Town Murder on Instagram.
Right.
So do that. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com today. Get everything. Merchandise. We have so much fucking merchandise of lots of different, all of our sayings and all that kind of cool shit. Also, in addition to that, I think you can still get the coloring books on there.
Yeah.
We have that. And get your tickets to live shows, damn it. Come see us. One thing we will guarantee you. I know, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody because I haven't seen any of them and I don't know, but we talk to a lot of the people who come to our shows.
Yeah.
Like they'll message us and things like that. And we have heard so many people say, wow, your show that you guys did was really funny. My sides hurt from laughing. I didn't expect that because I've seen other live podcasts and it was pretty boring and there wasn't really funny. That's one thing we guarantee. We're fucking stand-up comics. Yeah. So when we're doing a show...
We've done this a long time.
We know what we're doing on stage to be funny. Like when a lot of people, it's no insult to them, but if you start a podcast and you guys talk on a microphone and you can edit that how you want it and all that, that has nothing to do with being able to talk and throw down and tell jokes and have timing in front of a live crowd. It's a completely different thing.
It's fun when you can pre-write things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty neat, right? So, yeah, we're comedians. We know what we're doing. So we're going to give you a goddamn comedy show. And on top of that, it's not even fair. The story is great by itself. The pictures are funny. They'd be there. Yeah. And then we get to tell jokes. It feels like shooting fish in a barrel. You're going to be fucking... You're going to laugh your asses off.
Very well entertained, I promise. Come have a good time with us.
So shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets, especially to San Francisco at Cobb's Comedy. We're 2 shows in one night, and they will be different shows. So if you want to come to both, you're going to see 2 different damn shows. So do that. Or in Sacramento the next night. I believe that's August 12th and 13th.
Has to be 2 different shows there.
Has to be. Yeah, you're not going to show you the same show 2 in a row. Yeah, that's Crime and Sports.
Right.
Small Town Murder in Sacramento. And then we are in, also make sure to get your tickets to Milwaukee. I believe it's September 10th. We're at the Pabst. It's going to be our biggest show ever if we sell this out. So let's do it. Let's sell this out. Sell more tickets than Chicago, more than Minneapolis, more than Boston. You will be number 1. And when everyone asks, what's the biggest show you ever did? We're going to go, fucking Milwaukee. They're the shit.
Isn't that crazy?
We will tout Milwaukee as being the most amazing live show place in the world for the rest of our fucking lives. So let's do this. Come to the Pabst, hang out. Let's have the biggest goddamn party we've ever had. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. Shutupandgivememurder.com is where you do that. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of the good bonus stuff. My goodness, so much good bonus stuff.
Yeah.
And this week is no different. And it's not, we don't put them out spotty. We don't put one out every once in a while. Every other week, you're going to get 2 new shows, period. That's it.
Set your watch to it.
4 a month, sometimes 6. You can set your damn watch to it, and you can. They're up at the same damn time. We do it. We've missed 1 week when my grandmother died the day we were supposed to record. That's all. We hook it up. Yeah. There's over 100 episodes in the back catalog. You get all of that and get access to crime and sports stuff, small town murder stuff, all the bonus stuff. This week, what we're going to talk about for your $5 or above is for crime and sports, we're going to talk about John Rocker, who's just a huge asshole. He's a major league pitcher. Giant asshole. People threw threw D-cell batteries at him. There are no double D batteries. Threw D-cell batteries at him because he's such a jerk.
Sick dudes just be licking them.
They'd be like, yeah, give me some of them double Ds. They're huge double Ds. They're like those fat 6-volt flashlight ones.
Yeah, let's go in the fat square.
It's a double D. Yeah, it's double D right there. So, what the hell was I just saying? Get your double D.
Get your D. Get your
John Rocker's an asshole. Yeah. And then...
What about for small town murder? What are you going to do for that one?
Oh my God, I can't even. I'm just laughing too fucking hard.
I don't know why we went to double D batteries.
Because I started saying it. I started saying they threw double D batteries at him, and I'm like, that's not right. They certainly didn't fucking throw double D batteries at his ass. Anyway, small town murder this week. We are going to talk about a crazy case that's been the most recommended case that we've ever had since our first week of doing the show. At least once a week, someone sends us this case. Yeah. It's that crazy. And it's a known case, but we'll put our spin on it, obviously, where a guy, it's from Skidmore, Missouri, which is a small town, and there's a guy who's just a tremendous gaping asshole there. Everyone in the whole town hates him. It's not like some people like him. He's the town bully. He fucks with people. He is murdered publicly in front of dozens of people. and none of them will say shit about it. Upstanding people, like I said at the beginning, it's like he got murdered at a Gambino family barbecue, and they're just like, I don't know what you're talking about while he's laying five. I never saw that guy before in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
He got anonymously Mussolini'd.
Yeah, and he got Gaddafi'd right there, and no one cared. And everybody there just won't say anything, and it's like Murder on the Orient Express, hillbilly style, panhandle style. So we will talk about that case and so much more. So get that, patreon.com/crime and sports. And, of course, you will get your shout out, which is coming up right now, where Jimmy will terribly mispronounce names that he desperately wants to pronounce properly. So that said, let's go do that right now. Let's go to these names and hear the names of the most wonderful, wonderful people who would certainly never do anything sexual to us after they've murdered us. People, Jimmy, hit me with those names right now.
This week's executive producers are Jordan Bennett, Clay Thorson, Megan Green, and Katrina Raisby, I believe. Clay just drops
Clay, Jordan, they're so great.
Random amounts, random large donations.
He's just so nice.
He sends me pictures of all of his home upgrades. Because the guy does unbelievable. He's a master craftsman.
He's made us things. It's amazing the shit he does.
It's incredible. Yeah.
And then Jordan, we obviously is the best.
Yeah. Megan and Katrina, and
Simon
you're
too,
just as great. Yeah. Thank you guys
great
so
too.
much.
Yeah. We just have met those people more.
Other producers are Baron Miguel Cicluna from the Isle of Malta.
That is a wrestler.
Is it a wrestler?
That's an old wrestler who came around in the 80s or 70s. Bruno Sammartino, fucking foe.
In that time. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Jimmy 60s, Jumbo 70s. Nuts Wisman. That's me. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, your large dangly sack. That's right.
Maria Wiederker, happy hour in Pecos, Texas. Spider Matt, happy birthday. Julie Reed, Janice Hill, Tauna Smith. That may be Tana. I may have typed that wrong. That might be autocorrect. I can't tell.
One of them.
Yeah. Kenny Jr., happy birthday. Ashley Mayfield, happy Patricia Cesari, Melissa Putz, I think. Corey Wood, Brady Humphrey, Kenneth Mayo, Kim Smith, Aaron Bell, Kathleen with no last name, John Shavers, J.C. Craddockle. Oh, boy, I don't know what that is.
Craddockle?
Jerry Woodward, Greta McAvoy, Jennifer O'Carey Marrero, Krista Jolly, Laura Rose Erickson, Mark Carvalho, already stumbling, Lauren Kell, Jason Brainerd Barnes, Kaylee Hopkins, Katie Bissett, Derek Phillips, Tristan Shepard, Kelby Overton, Caitlin with no last name, Pauline Walton, Jennifer White Zahner, Carrie Adele, Holly Holacek, Cece Bowen, Taryn Grover, Muggs the English Bulldog, Jones with no last name, Mandolin Miles, Nikki Bottoms, Mary Jo Jablonski Wenmouth, Jamie Scarr, Matt Salamone, I think, Solomon, Watton Owens, Dana with no last name, Leica with no last name, Nini with no last name, Sarah Collins Roberts, Sarah Harding Roberts, Cheyenne Antel, Bria Parker, Tim Veitz, I believe, Gabriella Reynolds, Jacob Walsworth, Alex and Matt Shada, Jesse, Crutchfield, I believe, Jacqueline Gagliardi, Christopher Mason, Saeed Bukhara, Christine with no last name, Shay Kofer, Autumn Hill, Riley Collum, Dallas with no last name, Alicia Bowling, James Scheel, Karen Pallant, Austin Byers, Maxine Nyhouse, Laura Velasquez, Lauren McDermott, Carrie Wilson, Estrella Lopez, Maja McFowle, Joe with no last name, Justin Rice, that's Rice, Paul Inslee, Kelly Keller, Rebecca Harrelson, Brittany Lee, Zach Smith, Skip with no last name, Levi Shannon, Morgan Blackburn, Rachel Ruiz, Natalie Rodriguez, Tom Cross, Cheryl Smith, Nicole Heindel, Megan with no last name, Aaron with no last name, Alicia Canizo, Amber T, probably, DJ Dixon, Kira Anderson, Dave Herbener, Chandler with a shitload of R's, McKinley Mitchell, Lizzie Cohen, Derek Wagner, Riley, nope, that's Ryan Parlich, Sparty B. There, Lacey Perkins, Aaron Manley, Miranda Bellis, D.B. Cooper, probably not. Sean Brandt.
Maybe. We don't know where he went, Jimmy. It's possible.
Kayla Goodwin.
Podcast now.
Alex Coleman, John Johnson, Zachary Butler, Anna Baracloff, Bethany Murray, Andrew Kimball, Jennifer Zensis, Nathan Bird, Christy Phillips, Jill Pfister. You betcha. Gordon D., Cameron Duncan, Mo Hoff, Paige Lowry, Susie Bautista, Doug with no last name, J.T. Adams, Wendy Wisham, Jesse McCulley, Kathy Godfrey, Shelley Morgan, Rick Chadwell, Francisco Ariza Aquino, Mackenzie Moaning, Olivia Hatfield, Luanda Dunphy, Irene Cameron, Dominic Manischalchi. Oh, boy. Nate B., Kylie Murdoch, Heathcliff Heritage, Winter Russell, Tom Time, Kristen with no last name, Ben Boyer, Bauer, God damn it, Natalie O'Brien Ribbon, that's probably not right, Kat Imadori, Wes Preston, oh, boy, Gripnotic Goblin, Matt Coleman, Peter Skinner, Adam Hill, Karen Notgrim McAdams, Share Love Strong, Nick Hemsing, Alec with no last name, Alex Francis Mullins, Corey P., Dennis Kinneard, Matt A., David Rowan, V. Scattergood, Brenda Schultz, Megan Walker, Nicholas Henschel, Cameron Farquharson.
That's a weird name.
Farquharson. Ashley Donson, Shayna Tiffany Cruz, Amelie Delphos, Jim with no last name, Kayla Streeter, Haley Rapalogal, Steve House, Sian Smith, Devin Poloska, Shelby Russell, Trish Frank, Richard Clark, Caitlin with no last name, that's Brooke Maples, Ted Gerber, Katie Hauk, Cindy with no last name, Haley Moore, Amber Germain, I think, Rhonda Searstad, Christine Chronopoulos, Marilu Lopez, nice. Shannon Jones, Dallin Palmer, Kim Akizuseda, oh boy, Elizabeth Ariud, Caitlin Heiderscheit, Jesus, Nicole Voglio, Lucas Garbarino, Matt Mario, Dana Worley, West Volpe, Sean, that's Josh, it's Josh Bathroom. Alessandro Damaro, Meg Savivi, Jennifer Greenlee, and all of our patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, from the bottom of our hearts, honestly, for all that you do for us, for coming to the shows, your reviews, your tickets, your merchandise, everything.
You're amazing.
Listening, telling your friends, posting about it. Thank you so much. It really does mean the world.
Community.
Yep, and it really does help the show a lot. So thank you for doing that. If you want to find us on social media, very easy to do that. You can go to the website, shutupandgivememurder.com, on your way to get tickets, and you can stop off at the part that has links to all of our social media, or you can just Google search Small Town Murder Podcast Host, because there's only two of us. If there's more, tell us about, and we'll find them and kick them in the dick. So that said, thank you so much for joining us, and we will be back. Damn it, every other week. You know it. We're just not every other week, but every week. Twice a damn week with Express. You know it. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.